You are now entering a dangerous liberty zone where God-given natural rights are held sacred and exercised. This is your warning. Tyranny, fascism, and censorship will not be tolerated. Ideas will be exchanged freely. Rigorous debate and open discourse is encouraged. If you are weak and your beliefs are fragile, you should leave now. Prepare yourself. We are now live on the Dangerous Liberty Podcast. All right, folks, happy Sunday out there, everybody. Hope everybody is having a great weekend and getting ready for another great week. So welcome to another episode of the Dangerous Liberty Podcast. We got a great show for you today. We're here to expose grifters, fight the lies, and that's exactly what we're going to do today. And we're going to talk about another growing trend that we see all over the place when it comes to social media in general. We have these self-proclaimed investigators that rely heavily, if not exclusively, on anonymous sources and unverifiable information, and then they want to go around and they want to be completely anonymous. Folks, that's not how this works. It's just not. And then that way they can claim whatever they want to claim. There's a reason why these anonymous investigators are anonymous. They don't want to know, they don't want you to know who they are. Like, what in the world are we even talking about here? Like, if you don't have enough integrity, or if you're hiding something, or you can't take responsibility for the information that you're putting out, that tells me everything that I need to know about who you are and what's going on with that. And we got a long list of things that we're going to discuss today. Specifically, who we're going to discuss is the LeahFiles. Now, I'm streaming right now on X, YouTube, Rumble, Instagram, and we are on Spaces as well. And folks, those of you on Spaces, this is going to definitely be a live stream centric stream, and we will try to get to some questions and comments and things like that on the Spaces as well. I will try to include you. I just know you guys, a lot of you guys just like Spaces. You're like, I'm not like videos way too new for me. I don't know what it is. Some of you just like Spaces. But I do want to include as many comments as we possibly can. If you haven't done so already, make sure you like, subscribe. Make sure you comment, say hello. We're going to get to all the comments over there and say hi to the chat as well. And if you would like to, down in the description below is a link where you can become a member and you can support this channel. Also, if you're listening right now on X or watching on X, because we're live streaming there as well, you can also become a subscriber and support this channel. Either way, it's a few bucks a month, and it goes a long way to support exactly what we do. And if you will, this is totally free. I don't care if you're on X, YouTube, or whatever else, share this content, stop what you're doing and share this. And, we really appreciate that. That helps us get the word out. It helps us to grow the audience, and it helps us to spread the truth out there. Real quick, before we get to our guests, I do want to say hi to some folks over on the chat. We got Rhode Island Rob, we got Texas Motherberg, Jenga, we got Ramza B-Fan, we got Ritus Maximus, RWL 311, Lace, one of our great moderators. Thank you, Lace, for all that you do, and all of our moderators. We appreciate all that you contribute to the show. And many, many more. K-Pasto, we got K-Pasto over there. Thank you guys. You guys are great. Well, listen, what we're going to be talking about tonight is LeahFiles. And LeahFiles has kind of exploded in the last couple of years. Good for her. All right, not even the last couple of years, last couple of months. I think she's been on TikTok 7 or 8 months. She's got hundreds of thousands of followers. And one of the things that she has done time and time again is she's talked about how she is linked to the Intel community specifically. There's a lot of references and innuendos that she is some sort of analyst, and we're going to talk about that. And this, it is suspicious to say the least. Now, we just got some additional information, and we got a lot more coming in, folks. I've had people contacting me left and right talking about this, and I'm getting more information. There's some of the things that we're going to show today, and we're probably going to show a lot more in the incoming days. So stay tuned for that. But what I want to do right now is I want to bring on, we actually have several guests here. We got Lisa Knows. Let me just jump down here. And we're going to talk about the relevance of all these things. So we got several guests. We got Zach. We got Lisa. All right. So thank you all for coming on. And Lisa is a friend of the channel. She's been on here before. If you don't know Lisa Know, make sure you go follow her. Also, Zach and Shawn, make sure you guys go follow them on X as well. They are truth tellers. They're here to tell the truth, nothing but the truth. And Shawn, we've had, I now have had multiple allegations saying that you work for me, because the other day we were doing a live stream. It was really a space. And I actually threw the guest link, and you happened to be in the chat, and you came on and So therefore, clearly that you work for me. Tell everybody a little bit about who you are, what you do, and confirm or deny any affiliation that you and I have.
I don't know that Gary can afford me.
Probably can't.
I do not work for Gary. My name is Shawn Campbell. I've been a journalist for over a decade. Um, Started in 2012, so on and off. As a frontline journalist, most of my time spent about a year in broadcast news. I've got about half a dozen documentaries in my work in can be found in easily Google search, by the way, for people. This isn't complex stuff. And then last year, when my mom got sick, I decided to move into cybersecurity. That's why you can find me as OSINT Shawn on X. So that's what I've been doing is open source intelligence, threat hunting in cybersecurity now. So that's my role.
Awesome. Thank you. Zach, tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I won't go too deep into mine. I'll kind of steal a description that a friend of mine likes to use. Is I'm a nobody connected to a bunch of somebodies. And
awesome. And just for the record, he's not on my payroll either. Speaking of my payroll, Lisa,
he can't afford me either.
I guarantee you I can't. Speaking of things that I can't afford, Lisa.
Yes, I am daily asked if I am on Gary's payroll. Those definitely never have been. But yeah, you guys probably are pretty familiar with me at this point, but yeah, started in the pro-life movement, just did debunking of pro-choicers. Candace started her BS, and so I just started debunking that, and it kind of blew up and went from there. But yeah.
No, and look, folks, this is how they cope, and it's pretty pathetic. When I came out and saw exactly what Candace was doing and started debunking her just because of, I thought it was the moral thing to do. That was the first thing that I was hit with. I was a Fed. I was paid by TPUSA, all of these things. Folks, I have no affiliation. I'm not getting paid by anybody. I'm not getting paid by Jews. Don't have a bunch of BB bucks. I'm not getting paid by the U.S. government. Everything that I say, everything that I do, and everything that, as far as I know, everything that these people are doing is there because they want to. All right. And this is the crazy thing. They don't even have facts. They can't argue the facts of anything that you're discussing. They don't have an argument. They don't have a substantive argument at all. So they have to revert to trying to undermine you and destroy you. That's what it is. This is a smear campaign for these people. And what I want to do is I want to stay as factually accurate as possible. And, you know, just to kind of show you a little bit about this and what we see all the time, or at least what I see all the time. I want to share my screen for just a moment because this is really important as well. If you haven't seen this on X, and I'm going to post it in other places as well, but we actually had Julian Dory. He did a great podcast. And by the way, Julian Dory, as far as I'm concerned, is 100% sold on the idea that there's this big multi-agency conspiracy, Israel's involved, and I don't mean to mischaracterize. I think that's what I think he believes at this moment. Now, who he did have on the other day, much to his credit, and this is something that you're never going to see Baron Coleman do, you're never going to see Candace Owens do, you're never going to see any of these other grifters do, is he had Joseph Scott Morgan, a highly experienced medico-legal death investigator. He has like 30 years experience. This is what he does. He's essentially a pathologist as far as I understand, but he examines bodies for evidence. That's what he does. And I posted this video because he does a really good job and probably the most objective, professional explanation of what's going on with the 30-06 ballistics when it comes to Charlie Kirk assassination. He talks about the shirt movement. He also talks about the exploding mic, and I think everybody should watch that. But I post this, and then what do we have down here? We have a bunch of people. Some of them I just freaking banned right off the bat. Let's see what we got here. Here we have still no answer to the circuit board. There's no circuit board. But basically there was somebody calling him a spook. They were calling him, here we go. This guy said kinetic energy. There was another one where she called this guy a spook. A bunch of other things. Just trying to undermine this guy and trying to say that he's part of the conspiracy. That's what it really is. This is a accusation through implication is exactly what they're doing, because they can't handle the truth. They can't deal with the facts, and it just shatters their worldview when it comes down to evidence. They don't have evidence. They have an imagination. Like, you stop doing that when, like, I don't know, you're 9 or 10. When you stop believing in Santa Claus, we start reverting to or converting to over to logic, reason. But they can't. They can't. When there's a gap, they have to fill it up with nonsense, exploding microphones, freaking, you know, I don't know, hot weather balloons with a Israeli sniper. That's where we're at with this. When you set all of those things aside, as a matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to play just a couple of seconds of this because I really like what his kind of opening statement, and I did cut this, and I tried really hard to make sure I didn't pull any context out. Please go watch the full interview. It's very informative, and it's very good. But I want to play just a couple of, I don't know, 30 seconds or so of this, what he's talking about when it comes to pathologists and people investigating these types of situations.
The people that are practitioners and that actually do this for a living, they don't have time to sit out there and have a lot of speculative moments. They have to look at the data that they have in front of them and assess it in a logical way, because it really doesn't matter what the public opinion is or what the current zeitgeist is. At the end of the day, their measure is going to be taken at trial. It'll be taken at trial relative to what those people in the jury find. If this thing goes to trial, I think that it probably will. They're gonna take a look at that, and is there enough meat on the bone here?
Do you think there's enough meat on the bone?
Yes. Yeah. It's almost, they're talking about numbers relative to.
So this is
the
what we're
DNA.
talking about, folks. We have to be evidence-based. We really do. When it comes to any sort of investigation, look, I'm the first one to tell you, look, the government lies to you. They do. The government lies to you sometimes, without a doubt. And guess what? Social media personalities, especially those that are highly incentivized to continue to push a narrative, they lie to you even worse. Let me tell you something. The Fed slop narrative, I'll take the Fed slop narrative over what I'm seeing down in the freaking pod slop all day long. There's so many lies, so many agendas that are being pushed through that. And here's how you determine who's lying to you. It's evidence. It's evidence. You assess it based on evidence. You don't come up with conclusions and prejudices and then try to find the evidence to support those things. And that's what we're seeing every single time. That's not what adults do. It just isn't. All right, I'm going to get off my high horse just a little bit here. But what I want to do is kind of open this up. You know what, Zach, let's start with you, because I think you kind of had some of the initial interactions that kind of started this whole thing with LeahFiles the last couple days. I didn't even know what was going on, and I'll be honest with you. I've seen LeahFiles in the periphery, haven't paid attention to who she is, what she's saying. And so I'm still playing a little bit of catch up with this. But Zach, take it away. Tell us how this started.
All right, so it actually starts about a month and a half ago. She came across my radar when she posted a video and then did a X post talking about how it was weird how Charlie's life insurance policy was structured. And I responded to her saying, well, if you really want to follow the money, you should look at Candace. And she's like, I don't see anything wrong with Candace's finances. Like, all right, well, that's red flag number one.
Right.
And then I started looking into a couple of her TikTok videos, and her level of analysis, in my opinion, was crap. I was like, all right, this woman is saying that she's been in intel. She would be laughed out of the room if she presented this level of evidence at any hearing. So I was like, all right, she's obviously a fraud. I didn't look into it any more than that. I would just, every time she would come up on my feed, I would troll her. And that's what happened yesterday. She popped up on my feed, had said a comment that I found laughable. I responded, and then she decided that she wanted to retaliate. I responded again, and then she reported my account for doxing and got me temporarily suspended. That ticked me off. And that's when I said, all right, we're going to nip this in the bud real quick. So we started digging. And that's when we started coming up with, all right, yeah, she actually is a fraud. Allegedly.
Now, allegedly a fraud, right? Now, here's the thing. It's wild to me to see the hypocrisy of these people. where they think they can go around, they can slander all of these people all the time. They can say all of these things about Erica Kirk, especially, which is, as I'm researching and I'm looking through her feed and seeing what she's been saying, Erica Kirk has obviously been one of her primary targets.
Yeah.
They have no problem inciting violence toward these people because that's what they're doing. Not only, Charlie Kirk was killed, and for all the reasons that he would be killed by anybody. And there's lots of them. There's lots of people with agendas that didn't like Charlie. So he has had security for multiple years. It didn't just start. And by the way, he didn't get security because of the Jews. He got security because of the radical left. Everything that we see, and he's said this, he's been on the record multiple times saying the left is going to kill me. Now, we're still trying to figure out what's going on with his sentiments with Israel. So far, I'm not going to base anything, like the text messages are not evidence of Israel's involvement in this. They're not. That is somebody that is venting, just like if I was venting at my wife on a text message or a friend or whatever else, and they died, that is not evidence that I killed them. Is it worth looking into? Sure. And we'll talk more about that. But the fact is they can do this to people left and right. Candace Owens, I just put out a tweet, and this brings you into this a little bit, Lisa. But last night, you sent out a tweet, and I retweeted it, but also your original response. Let me get over here. But, these people can dox people left and right. Sergeant Fal Moina, whose only sin is doing her job during the preliminary hearing. Next thing you know, Candace Owens is looking her up, telling people where she's from, telling everybody what school she's went to, putting it out in public that her uncle was killed by a gang, like, I don't know how long ago. Tracy Martin. Folks, Candace Owens doxed Tracy Martin. Her husband told all kinds of lies about her husband, got everything wrong. Tracy Martin ended up having a phone call with Candace Owens and said, hey, look, you got all this wrong. And she proved it to her on the phone. And Candace told her that she was going to retract that and make it right. She never has. That's months and months ago at this point. So these people don't care. But what's crazy to me is when you expose them for the actual frauds that they are, they clutch their pearls and they want to pretend that they're victims. These people are not victims. These people are the victimizers. They're the ones that are perpetrating on innocent people all over. And it's for clicks, views. And by the way, the proof of it is all there. I can't find that tweet right now, but I'll look it up in just a minute. But speaking of which, there is a legal standard for what doxing is. And just revealing somebody's name is not doxing. And I don't care what X can have their own rules about this, whatever. But the fact is, if you're going to get out there and you're going to say that you're an investigative journalist and we can't even know who you are, and you get up there and you talk about, you spread your opinions, and then, by the way, claim certain expertise and a background, but then you get mad when people expose who you are, which, by the way, let me tell you something, her operational security is pretty poor. But Lisa, let's talk a little bit about what happened with you, the claims that were made against you as far as doxing and everything else, and how this all goes together.
Yeah, so yesterday, this whole thing started because I was scrolling on TikTok because that's my primary app and platform that I use majority of the time. And I kind of work as a bridge between TikTok and X because there's a lot of people on X that are not on TikTok and vice versa. So anyway, it came up on my FYP. And I also kind of have tracked the LeahFiles just in the background a little bit. I haven't had really any real interaction with her. I've just seen a lot of people say, similar to what Zach said, people who've actually worked in intelligence, who've watched her videos, and they've just made comments like the way that she says things, the way that she phrases things. Someone who truly worked in intelligence wouldn't talk this way. They wouldn't present things this way. This is not how they would do things. Also, even just from the finance perspective, there was a lot of people in finance who even said that the way that she's presenting TPUSA's 1099s and their tax documentation, and she's not reading the paperwork correctly, or she's presenting it very ominous when it's not something that's ominous. It's something very normal, right? And so yesterday, there's a video that pops up, and she's basically doing a brag about, I've only been on TikTok for 7 months, and I'm going on the Shawn Ryan show next week.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I made a post about it. It kind of pissed me off and kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And I just basically said, it's ridiculous that someone who has not verified any of their credentials, it's been floated around that she's been a fraud for quite a while, from people who actually work in intelligence, and like nobody can get this girl to like actually verify anything about who she really is. And anytime anyone has tried to nail her down, she just runs from it. She won't actually provide anything to back up, like to say who she is, to present anything to show that she is who she says that she is, right? And so I didn't even tag her in my initial post, but I was just kind of like, this is ridiculous. You've got some, like, it's crazy that people can get on the internet and just claim to be whatever they want to be, and there's no one that, like, there's no level of accountability anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to get on the internet and claim that I'm a doctor because I can't present an MD. I don't have one. And it takes 2 seconds for people, if they actually wanted to look into that, to find out, like, this woman is not a doctor. She's out here claiming she's a doctor, and she's not a doctor. She doesn't have an MD. I would never say that because I would look like an idiot, right? And so that kind of frustrated me. And I was also, yes, I did make a claim about, like, it's ridiculous that people cannot see who is clearly making money off of this. The people who are selling drama and enticing, spicy, juicy tea and, ramping everybody up, they're the ones who are getting all the attention. They're the ones that are
and
making money.
it actually goes further than that, Lisa, because what we've seen time and time again is if you prove yourself loyal to Candace Owens, she will promote you. So that's an additional incentive, which is exactly what we see with LeahFiles, and is exactly what we're seeing now with LeahFiles going on to the Shawn Ryan show. This woman is not credible. She hasn't delivered a single piece of evidence in the last 10 months. I don't know how long she's been working on this, but even Candace Owens, not a single piece of court admissible evidence in 10 months. She's made millions and millions of dollars. And then we see other grifters like Baron Coleman, that as long as you're loyal and you toe the line and you say exactly what Candace Owens wants you to, she's going to promote you. She's going to have you on her show. And guess what? You're going to join in on the bounty. You're going to get all of her followers. You're going to get all of her additional super chats. Like, it is a grift parade like I've never seen. And now we have this like grifter podcast circuit where you go on Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Shawn Ryan show, and then rinse and repeat, just going all the way around. And now these sub grifters, they're doing the same thing. I see them again promoting all these other people that are towing the line. And it's a massive, I'm almost scared to put an end to this because it might collapse the economy. Like, that's how big this thing is. It's tens of millions of dollars that these people are making. And it's it's fraud, folks. What they are telling you is fraud.
And then meanwhile, those of us who, again, are trying to tell the truth, trying to put real things out there, again, we don't get half of that level of interaction, half of that level of attention, which, again, it's not about that for me. It is about getting the truth out. But I'm just simply saying, I get accused of making money off of this every day. I get accused of grifting every day. I get accused of being paid by Turning Point, paid by Gary, paid by XYZ. I apparently am not allowed to have a single thought in my own head that is my own. Or as a woman, I get accused of, oh, you just have a crush on this person. You just like Gary, or you like this man. I'm like, oh, because I'm a woman, I'm not allowed to actually have any intelligence of my own. It must be because I want to be involved with that person. That's the only reason why I could possibly say what I say, right? Feminism, like, so all that to say, like, yeah, I got a little heated, and I was like, it's ridiculous that those of us that tell the truth can do twice as much work and we don't get even half this level of attention, because the truth is not spicy. The truth is not juicy, guys. The truth is actually pretty freaking boring at the end of the day. And so, yeah, I mean, if I wanted to spice things up and juice things up, yeah, I know how to make money on the internet. I could do that very easily. It's just, at the end of the day, I'm not going to sell my soul, and like, I have to sleep at night, right? So, yes, I made a post about it. I was pretty heated about it. And she immediately, her little minions found my post, and she came right into my comments and started saying that I was slandering her. all this and that. I said, okay, if I'm slandering you, then let's put it to bed right now. Give me your credentials. What are your credentials to say that you've worked in intelligence, that you've worked for the CIA, the NSA, the way that you are presenting yourself online? Let's like lay this out then. And she completely ran from me. She would not she was like, I don't owe you anything. I'm like, yeah, you don't technically owe me anything, but you are putting credibility behind your name. People are giving you this level of authority because you have presented yourself. And so that makes what you are saying on the internet have a higher level of, like, people think that that gives you a higher level of credibility, right? And so yeah, she was just running from me. And then at that point, you know, people started to actually dig in from there and be like, oh, well, come to find out this woman isn't exactly who she's presented herself to be. And then it kind of just went from there. And then now I am full blown being accused of straight up doxing this woman when all I did was put her name, just her name, which her previous coworker or previous employer, excuse me, had already put on the internet. That's it. That's all that I put on there. I didn't put anything about a family member. I didn't put none of it. Nobody on our side has put like where she lives or anything like that. And I wouldn't. We stuck to her name and her previous work history because that was what was related to what was being discussed at the time. Nobody went out of bounds with any other information. And it's not like we didn't have that information. That's not hard to find on the internet. If you want to find that information, you can. But nobody put any of that type of information out. To what was being talked about.
And what's wild for me to watch is that they accuse us of doing the things that they do every single day. Folks, these same people that are spreading this around like, oh, and clutching their pearls and feigning, you know, like they're sitting around. These are the exact same people. When I was doxxed, my address was put all over the place. My phone number was put all over the place. My wife and kids were put all over the place. They were the ones spreading it. And now they're going to sit here and feign outrage and pretend like they're innocent and they're the victims. It's so disgusting. And I'm so sick of this. But right here, you know, Lisa says, you're delusional. He wasn't trying to hurt anyone. Barron literally doxed the location of a woman. This is 100% true. Location of a woman who's hiding from a severe life-threatening domestic violence situation, and then went on to him privately and told him her life was in danger and provided proof. He laughed and doubled down. And on top of that, accused that woman based on some freaking revenge post like from 13 years ago of hiring a hitman to kill somebody. This is what the lawyer does. And by the way, that was done because he couldn't attack me. He didn't have anything on me, so he went after somebody else that was close to me. This is what this scumbag does. And all these people, they are degenerates. They are scumbags. And this is what they're good at. They're good at slandering people, defaming people, and making up stories and selling snake oil. That's what they do. And my response to this, after I retweeted it, was Baron Coleman and real Candace Owens are the king and queen of doxing. Candace posted Tracy Martin's family info about her husband that was a lie and never retracted it, even after telling Tracy on the phone that she would. She doxed personal information about Sergeant Jennifer Falmuina and her family for testifying at Tyler Robinson's preliminary hearing. Candace made public where she was raised, the school she played basketball, where she went to college, and that her uncle was murdered. This seems like trying to intimidate an official and witness tampering. She publicly named Laura Loomer's husband and identified his workplace. Laura Loomer's husband is not a public figure. So this is what we have going on. It's not even the pot calling the kettle black. It's literally accusing your enemies of what you're doing. And we're not doing those things. And I condemn it.
This was okay. So, and then when they started putting my name everywhere that I was doxing her, which again is not what happened. That's not how that went down. And I'll let the other two gentlemen explain that process because they were more involved in that process than I was. I literally just reposted what Shawn had posted. And so I'll let them explain that portion of it. But literally, they start attaching my name, tagging me all over the place. Baron gets involved in the situation. And I'm sitting there being like, I didn't even do anything. This is crazy. And
you have that much power, Lisa.
Coming out with a brand new video. She just blasted my name to the internet again. And now my DMs are getting filled right now. Like, I can show you guys right now. Telling me that I'm a demon, that I should kill myself. I I mean, she is just blasting me left, right, and center, and I was not even the person that did any of this, which is crazy. And again, nobody even released anything that wasn't already available on the internet, which is absolutely insane. I just,
Yeah,
it's
and just to be
infuriating.
clear, here's one of her tweets, which, by the way, she deleted.
I can't hear
Releasing
you
the
again.
personal
Shoot.
information of someone, including their real name and information about them, is illegal. No, it's not. Releasing someone's real name is not illegal, especially when you are a public figure. Get out of here. Quit playing games. She says, I will sue you and I will come at you with full force. You have been warned. I know who you all are. And you can go through her timeline and just see the reprehensible things that that she has said about Erica Kirk. Here's a tweet by Shawn. He said, I just followed the money. Survey says you did not spend your life at the CIA, NSA, and you do not operate a private intelligence agency. And again, we have a lot of receipts. I'll probably show some of those tonight. A lot of the stuff was coming in right before this show. I'm going to end up putting it together and being able to present it in a very contiguous, having some good continuity with it, because it's a little all over the place. But here's what I want to point to. This one's really important. This one's kind of funny. Look what Sarah Adams, a real former CIA analyst, said. So you've called me stupid, a fake intel analyst, and a Pakistani so far this morning, but you don't address the fact that you are wrong, ? Standard playbook, and all in the defense of Kash Patel. Interesting. Your slander campaign is messy. Sarah Adams says, wannabe has her feelings hurt. Least I'm not a fake intel analyst. Your followers are getting massively played. And you can see at this point that she got blocked. But this is what we're seeing. Oh, and by the way, we have another actual intel analyst, an actual spook. Let me pull up that one. Here we go. We got Brian Cunningham, an actual former spook, responding to this woman. One would think that someone claiming an intelligence background would know that reposting info you published is not doxing. Do better. Do better, Leah. And by the way, Leah, you're welcome. And that's not your real name, but you're welcome to email me any sort of work history you got. I will vet it and I will retract anything that we've said. But so far, what we have gives us every indication that you're a fraud. Allegedly. And you guys just can't, you guys can dish this out left and right, but you can't take it. That's a fact. Same thing with Baron Coleman, same thing with Candace. And every time they respond, it's personal destruction. That's what it is. And they don't even provide you any facts or anything. They just say things and let the smear stand there. That's what they do. Shawn, over to you, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, the worst part about this is obviously Lisa is kind of taking the blunt force when I'm the one who, did the majority of the research and I put that out. Zach and I kind of like got together at the end. He may have egged me on a little bit. Maybe didn't. I don't know.
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah. So I'm the one who released the Leah files. I released her identity. I had a run-in with her, about a month to a month and a half ago. I noticed her. I was like looking at her patterns, how she spoke. I was I was analyzing the background of like her podcasts and stuff. I would notice things like when she does her actual cast on YouTube, for instance, she's always got like that. She's always got her sport coat on, right? Like she's Carrie Matheson in Homeland. And she's got a picture of JFK. She's got like a book. I can't tell if it's a prop book or not. It says Bin Laden. So she's got all this stuff that's kind of designed to like catch the human eye. But then when I'm listening to her speak from like an intelligence perspective, I'm like, okay, this lady doesn't know anything about the intelligence apparatus. I don't like. I mean, as far as like finance is concerned, it sounds like she has some knowledge. I would think I'm not a financial expert, so I went to the experts. People, we'll just use Brian as an example since you brought him up. Brian Cunningham, and Brian Cunningham, he did a little bit of analysis, quick analysis on her profile as well, and he agreed that he doesn't think that she has any type of foresight, real experience working with the CIA or NSA. And then I brought up the fact that I was like, hey, if she had worked directly with the CIA or NSA like she claims, and by the way, that's an actual claim, and Gary, I'm assuming, is going to play that video because she has actually said that. That's not me projecting or putting words in her mouth. She has said those words. And I said, hey, if she left the CIA or NSA, it's my understanding that she would have to sign a contract. This is why we've only had a handful of people like go on RT. Most of them end up moving to Russia. I think one of them ended up serving some prison time. You have to sign an agreement when you leave the agency that anything you do, whether you write a book or any of that nature, certain things you're allowed to talk about. I think you can kind of put in there. And Brian confirmed that, right? Brian confirmed that. And I confirmed that with some other folks I know that served in the agency as well. And whether it's the CIA or it's the NSA, it's basically the same procedure. So I'm like, okay, well, I mean, this lady's a fraud. I had called her out and I had some like questions. She kind of just mocked me. And then I was like, what do you mean you're not selling like any products? I was like, it's right on your link tree. It's called Follow the Money Toolkit. And she does videos on this all the time. So she charges $27 for this Follow the Money Toolkit, which is supposed to allow the average person to do what she does, whatever it is she does. And not to mention, she's got 20,000 subscribers on Substack, right? She's got over 100,000, on TikTok, and now over 100,000 in 4 months magically on X, which is unheard of. So that caught my eye because I'm like, who is this person, and how are they, rising to a level that most people never get to on social media?
Systems contract. This is one of the biggest red flags. So
Wrong one. I'm going to put the other one up there. I didn't know which video this was. I want to play that video where and by the way, there's multiple documents that I have right now that
Erica Kirk, from an intelligence perspective, let's go. I spent my career at the CIA and NSA and also advised other intelligence agencies. I now have my own corporate intelligence firm. All of these opinions are my own. This analysis is my own for entertainment purposes only. You can find all of my deep dive investigations, sources, videos on my Substack, as well as a Follow the Money investigative toolkit that I created so that you all can follow the money as well. It is the step-by-step process guide, sources, everything.
There you go.
That's her words. So, she said it. Her being
well, and in that, I just want to say in that video specifically, because I had people in my comments yesterday when we started saying, no, she is not really who she presents herself to be. I had people saying, oh, she's always just done finance. Like all of her videos are follow the money videos with Turning Point and how they're doing their 1099s and like their taxes and stuff like that. Okay. And that they're supposedly using their money fraudulently and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, then do you want to explain why in that video she is profiling Erica Kirk? She's pretending to profile and give an analysis of Erica Kirk's personality to show that she is like a psychopath or one of those things, okay? CIA people that are actually trained in profiling and analysis of someone's personality. Last time I checked, those are not financial analysts. Those are not people who work in finance. If you're working in finance, you're not getting trained in how to profile someone.
Psychologically profile someone. Yeah.
So she's so she is straight up pretending in that video that she's doing a profile on Erica Kirk and her personality, but yet she's not presenting herself as something that she's not. It's a freaking joke. I'm sorry. I'm just really ticked off on this one. So
yeah, not just that, but when you look at her work history, the slide that you showed earlier, Gary, doesn't have one of the claims that she's now making that she worked at Booz Allen as well. But Booz Allen's the only company that she's tying herself to that has any of those types of people that work with those agencies. And every company that she has worked for has been more of the administrative type, where they're doing bookkeeping, they're doing logistics, they're doing IT compliance, they're doing audit compliance, they're doing
stuff like that.
Yeah, inspector general type support. They aren't doing forensic accounting. They're not doing forensic auditing or intelligence monitoring on foreign assets. There are companies that do that. Like I said, Booz Allen's one of them, Kaki's another, that have those contracts. PricewaterhouseCoopers and KPMG are not there. Neither is Deloitte.
Which, by the way, those are the companies that she's claimed to have worked for.
Yep.
And we're actually on her LinkedIn and some other documents, including bios, public bios for companies that she did work for. So this is the disconnect when you start looking at what she's claiming and then what the documentation says. And again, this is the whole thing. This is the whole thing that they want to accuse and get the pitchforks and torches out and go after Erica Kirk. And by the way, when it comes to Erica Kirk's education, there's perfectly reasonable explanations. You don't have them because you don't have access to these things. But regardless, this is the thing that they are constantly going after people for. Oh, you're lying about this, you're lying about this, and you're lying about your background, and you're all a fraud. When actually, they're always the fraud. They're always the fraud, like every single time. In
her case, she's doing it to shut down any criticism of her content. She's putting out and this is what drives me nuts. I don't care if you put bad ideas out. Ian Carroll puts bad ideas out all the time. He's a moron. You can just kind of push him to the side. He's not going out there saying he's got a background in whatever industry. This is what she's doing so that she can shut down criticism of her actual work, which is crap.
Yeah.
And if you look at the last contracting gig that she had, which was Aminad, they actually said that she was hired specifically to work on modernization of the Marine Corps logistics supply line, which supply chain management is making sure products and services arrive on time and are paid for. That's not intelligent.
That's a cover. Bro, that's a cover. It's a cover.
Well, and then we looked up her former agency, whatever she wants to call it. And so we wanted to know if she actually had government contracts, right? Like she never had any government contracts for the company that she had. So we haven't found that she currently has another company or agency or intelligence organization that she claims a private intelligence organization. But that company that she had that I posted on my timeline, she never had a single government contract. At least on paper, it's not registered. So
yeah, anonymous sources that provide unverifiable information from an investigator that is completely anonymous. Tell me what could go wrong there, folks. Like at least CNN and MSNBC's, like they're complete hacks, leftist propagandists, but at least they don't even do that. I mean, my God, have a little bit of standards for the people that you get information from. Like, oh, I don't know who this person is, and they're telling me a story from someone that I don't know who that is, and they're giving me information I can't verify. Yeah, sounds real to me, bro. She just provided receipts. Like what these people call receipts, I don't know. They got zero receipts. Zero receipts. They say they have receipts. They don't even have receipts for the receipts. So it's a little bit crazy that people would. Well, it's not. Like these people understand that there's this confirmation bias that people are willing to pay for, and as long as you confirm that bias, they can be the most incredible person out there. And people out there will hand over fist. They will give their whole paycheck to confirm their worldview. And that's the shtick, folks. That's the shtick. And it's like, wake up, America. This is how we get duped. I don't care what you believe, but like at least have a little bit of integrity and expect to like base your worldview off of some real world evidence. And that's not where we're at right now. We are just participating in a mental illness, and it's childlike behavior. It really is. It's like, I want there to be rainbows and unicorns. In this case, it's freaking murderous Jewish assassins and TPUSA and Erica Kirk killed Charlie Kirk. That's what you want to play around with. And
you left out Jeremy Boring and Ben Shapiro. They got to tie in there somehow.
Of course. We definitely have. Go ahead.
I want to hammer this point too, because like Lisa said, she's getting absolutely swamped by these people because Leah knew that it would harm I think Leah knew, like,
Sure.
psychologically, it would harm Lisa more to tag her than it would to bring attention to me, since they claim that they're going to be serving me with a lawsuit or whatnot tomorrow or something. Um, and Lisa's obviously more known on the platform, so and they already have a back and forth. So Lisa's getting all these trolls. She's getting death threats. On top of that, they're saying, "Hey, what about the children? What about the women?" And I'm getting called an incel and stuff like this. And then I'll go on these profiles, and especially these pod sloppers, the small pod sloppers especially, and they're posting pictures of like Jack Pasabic's kids and stuff like that. It takes me like less than 30 seconds to find this stuff. They do it repeatedly all the time. I'm like, wait, you're literally taking like public images of people. I mean, you've got Charlie Kirk and Erica Kirk with their kids. You've got Jack Pasabic with his family and his kids. Like you've done the exact same thing. You've taken a public image off of Google Images, which, by the way, you could find the images that I took a screenshot of on Google Images. So it's not like I was like, hey, here's your children. That it's a blurry photo, and that's that. But either way, they're doing the exact same thing that they're trying to use as a weapon against the facts that I found out who this person actually is with other people's help later down the road. We're connecting the dots. We now don't believe she is who she says she is, and she wants to deflect it from that because she has a big show coming up. People who go on Shawn Ryan and Tucker Carlson and Candace Owens. These are individuals who, we've seen this with like Elizabeth Lane, stuff like that. All of a sudden, they're, who they are. Their reach gets amplified now. And Leah, we're gonna call her Leah, I guess, for the sake of the show, and that's not her real name, or that's her middle name, I guess she claims. And she's obviously already well known. She's got the followers to back it, but it doesn't hurt to go on the Shawn Ryan show, who's got millions of followers, and it's going to get millions of views. So
Yeah, and let me tell you something. I can't tell you how disappointed I am in Shawn Ryan. As a matter of fact, I got a video right here. Look, when someone is coming on my show and they claim a level of expertise or a background, I verify those things. And this stuff is easy to verify, especially in this community, especially if Shawn Ryan, he knows people in the intel community. It's easy to ask around. I just don't think that's happening. And by the way, I've seen some of the other people he's had on the show in his past. Even when I liked him, I was like, bro, you didn't vet this person. I can tell you that right now. So, like, there's a responsibility by these people to do that. But again, what we have are these people that will have anyone on their show that will parrot what they're saying or even confirm their worldview. And I think, unfortunately, Shawn Ryan is one of the most influenceable, easily manipulated people on the planet. And to see, like, the way that he has, Jen, if you will, put that video back up, please, of Shawn Ryan. He was just recently on Tucker Carlson's show. And to see, like, you can visibly see, like, his whole demeanor has changed. It is depressed. It is because when you sit around and you like fall out of love with your country, and you're convinced that, Donald Trump is a pedophile, the U.S. government is evil, the military's evil. Like, none of that's true, folks. We have problems in all those sectors, without a doubt. There's a lot to criticize Trump about, but there's also a lot to be appreciative for. A lot of things that have happened because of the Donald Trump presidency that would have never happened under Biden. Number one, or Kamala. Our borders would still be open, and we'd be being flooded with tens of millions of third world country. And like, that's the end of our country. That's the end of our country. Being patriotic is realizing that your country is mostly good. Like, we have the greatest people on earth. We got a lot of turds in this country as well, right? I mean, that's just how this works. And yeah, I have my criticisms of the government, but it's mostly filled with good people. I have my criticisms of law enforcement, but 95+% are freaking people that go out there and make this country safer every single day and put their lives on the line to make it happen. And when you're going to sit and you're going to concentrate on like the 5 to 1% of problems that we have in this country, and you let that define your view of the greatest country on earth, man, you have lost the plot. You really have. Let's play this play this video. And again, if you guys have been watching, let me make sure this is the right one. Here we go.
Ethan, what was your takeaway from your interview with him?
Pete wanted to be the Secretary of the Veterans Affairs. I just don't really have much interest in the Veterans Affairs.
Jen, you got that other video? Is it up there somewhere? And by the way, if you've watched Shawn Ryan for any length of time, like you can literally watch like the decline, the way that he approaches life, like his attitude when he's on the set and everything else. And it's brain rot, man. It is a cancer for your soul, without a doubt. While Jen is getting that
video is it that you're looking for?
The one where he's talking about his service as a SEAL.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
Yep. Thank you. While we're doing that, let's go ahead and jump into some super chats. Colton W1, this already sounds suspect. I know worked with dudes in the Secret Service, Pentagon police, some working in the Pentagon. They don't tell me anything because they can't. Bush League, big guy, Sunday tithe. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. And Devin asked me to put my X account on dark mode, and I did. So hopefully it'll help your tender eyes. You're welcome, Devin. Disney at Boiler Up says she was probably the janitor at Linkley. And look, I have ran into so many of these types of people where I'm in a circle of people, and the next thing you know, I hear about this guy talking about his time as special operations, and that he was special operations or whatever. And then you go talk to these people and come to find out, you know, their support. Yeah, they were attached to that unit, but and look, that's great. Like, don't be ashamed of who you are, but don't try to sell yourself as something that you're not. Here we go. This is the video I was looking for. Go ahead, Jim.
I was a part of that institution. I wish I never was. And
you wish you were never a Navy SEAL?
I mean, I don't regret it. I enjoyed my time there, but I mean, it's just, I obviously don't align with the ethics and whatever value system they're going off of, which doesn't seem to be much. But anyways, the point being is that's just one institution inside of the U.S. Navy. That's it. One small, like very SEAL teams, very, very small part of the U.S. Navy. And then he's talking about Ranger Battalion. And then there's all these other units. And it just made me think, it's like, man, like this is just one war in one small part of the U.S. government, very small part. So that means every single U.S. institution out there is doing the same shit. Obviously CIA, obviously FBI, everything, all of Congress, all of the Senate, everybody in it, the presidents, everybody.
Folks, this is a concerted effort, and it is a very systematic, well-funded demoralization operation that is being conducted by our enemies and the left. This is absolutely taking place by China, Russia, Iran, Europe, everybody that hates us as a country, and they all do. And by the way, we have some self-loathing Americans as well, which it's shameful. Folks, we have the greatest country on earth. Millions of people have died for the freedoms that you have. This is the last bastion of hope. When this country falls, it all falls. And we got things to work on. But folks, we do not have a government. We don't have a military. We don't have a society that is completely corrupt. There is corruption in all those things. But this is what they want you to believe. So you just give up. You stay at home. You're like, no point in voting. Like, that's what they want you to believe. And folks, this is coming from the left. All of this is coming from the left as well as our foreign adversaries. And so many conservatives are just buying it hook, line, and sinker. Hook, line, and sinker.
And every single one of these people is being pushed by Russia. The other thing that we found yesterday, which I posted, and I actually tagged her this time, and you'll notice she didn't show up in my comments. She had nothing to say, of course, was why is RT, which is a well-known Russian propaganda, Russian state-sanctioned TV show, promoting LeahFiles? And it's the same. That is the same. You know, we've got all of these Russian social media accounts and Russians like TV programs that are boosting her, having her on their shows. These are
Candace
the same
Owens as well.
yeah, these are the same accounts that were all about you know, Candace's state sanctioned tour of Russia with her family when she was there, and when she came back for a while they were boosting her hardcore. They're the same ones that have boosted Elizabeth Lane. And every single time that we make the connection that these people are connected to these same exact social media accounts and they're boosting these individuals, then it happened with Elizabeth Lane. You guys started being like, hey, she's connected to this person and this person. This is kind of weird. Why is this going on? Here comes Baron Coleman to start doxing people. Yesterday, we made the same connection. Wait a minute. The LeahFiles is being boosted by these Russian social media accounts and these Russian TV programs, and they're having her on their programs. Why is this happening? And as soon as I did, within a few hours, here comes Baron Coleman threatening to dox me and tells me he's got a whole file on me. I know you have a file on me, Baron. I'm sure that you do. But like, why is Baron Coleman like their little pit bull that they send out whenever these women get exposed with their Russia connections? Then they send Baron Coleman out as their little pit bull to threaten to like expose people and dox people. It's crazy the pattern that we're seeing here, y'all. That's all I'm saying.
And Baron Coleman's really got to stop using the word Fed slop, because he was a confidential informant. So you know, it's I'm just saying.
Government informant. And let me ask you, so here we have LeahFiles, who claims to have government contracts, to have claimed to work for all these agencies. And she's not a Fed. She's not a Fed.
Yeah, she's not Fed slop.
Because I sold the U.S. Army some night vision gear, I'm a Fed. Just get out of here. Again, folks, accusing people of what they're doing exactly. And let me tell you something. I don't know if these people have some sort of backroom deal with Russia, but what I can tell you is Russia sees these people as perfect useful idiots. Perfect useful idiots. And there is something going on. Again, Baron Coleman came after me and my producer when number one, Elizabeth Lane attacked me and I went after her. And then she was crying uncle. She was acting so tough. And she was like, oh, God. She's DMing me after she's calling me a P word, saying that, oh, I know what you want. You want to see me naked. Or no. What she said was, you want to know what positions I like. Just being just trashy. And then when suddenly I'm going after her, like, you come after me, you're going to get it. And now, then she starts sending me, number one, she sent me a cease and desist that wasn't worth the paper that it was written on. On top of that, then she's like, let's just call it truce. Calls me up. And then I got Baron Coleman texted me and threatened me with lawsuits as well. And then he goes after Jen. This had nothing to do with Baron Coleman. Like, I'm not afraid of you people. I'm not afraid to lose. You understand that? I don't care. You can take everything I have, and guess what? I still have my wife, my family, and my God. You can take it all. Like, you don't understand who you're dealing with here. And the same goes with these people. I went overseas to fight for this country and would have given my life 100 times over. You think I'm scared of losing a YouTube channel? You think I'm scared of some frivolous lawsuit? Like, get out of here. No. All you do is motivate me. You reveal the evil that you are. And you're not. And what they're doing, folks, is they're destroying this country and doing it intentionally. They're doing it intentionally. And they have all kinds of motives. Some of it's greed, some of it's money, some of it's power. Some of these people know what they're doing, though.
And something that stuck out to me. Go ahead, Shawn.
Yeah, real quick, Zach. So this is what they did with me, right? When Mitchell Manley, Artifacts Memorum, he posted my because I had DUIs in the past. I'm a recovering alcoholic. I don't hide it. I post it on X. I post my sobriety like every 3 months. I've been on podcasts. You could literally just Google me and find it. Not really an issue. I don't mind talking about it with people. I don't mind that people know that, I had a past. It is what it is. I found God, and that's that. Well, like in 2023, I sued CARE. You can just type in Shawn Campbell in the Google search bar, CARE. It's the largest U.S. Islamic organization in the U.S. I sued them. And I didn't just sue them. I used a Jewish Trump lawyer to sue them. Now, I've told them, I said, well, you're posting the article if I'm willing to sue the largest Islamic organization in the United States by myself as a journalist, what makes you think I'm scared of you? Think about it. Because I guarantee you, I'm not scared of like like your little YouTube channels and your pod slop and so on and so forth. I'm like, you can post my dad's address. My dad's he's a veteran. He served his country as well, former law enforcement officer. What I would recommend to you is if you're gonna post his address and you go over there, I suggest you wear some body armor and bring some ice for your boo-boo because you're not coming out of that one.
Yeah. Steve Eisner Show says Gary Tucker is building his org chart of top lieutenants when he rolls out his revamped Republican Party, and Shawn Ryan is a key cog appealing to his key constituency, the muscular class, guaranteed. Folks, I've been saying this since at least December. This is Project 2032. When I saw once Tucker came into this whole thing and dovetailed into what Candace was doing, and then Megyn Kelly, and then Ian Carroll and Baron Coleman, like I knew exactly what was happening. Folks, they want us to lose the midterms because they think that if we lose the midterms, we're going to lose 2028. And if we lose 2028, they're going to rise up as this opposition party that's going to replace MAGA. That is their entire platform is going to be decoupling from Israel, which China and the rest of the world would love to happen so that they can have that strategic location. They want that, and they're pushing it. And on top of that, the other thing they're pushing is extreme isolationism. That's what they want you to believe. They understand that there is a war weariness in this country, and they're exploiting that. They're capitalizing on it, and so that they can start their own far-right party. And what it really is it's globalism rebranded for the right. That's what it is. It's letting China, Russia, and all these other countries beat us, destroy the hegemony that we have built up to protect our interests worldwide. Threats don't go away. And no, war is terrible. War is terrible. And it shouldn't have, like, I condemn the Iraq war, the way that it was handled, Afghanistan, the way that was handled, the way it was drug out, for all the reasons. Talked about it, to no end on this show. I was there. I was there with the initial push into Iraq. I lost people left and right, both over there and then when we got home. Lost just as many people after we got home. And let me tell you something. I don't want war, but I'm not stupid enough to think that if we just ignore the threats, that they go away. War is a necessary evil. And my God, I don't want to get into this with Iran. If there was ever a justified war, it'd be Iran. But this is what they're doing, folks. They're manipulating you. They're manipulating 20 years of debauchery, yes, by our government. But what they're offering you is worse than the solution that we have now. 10 times worse. They're saying it's the same thing that communists did during the civil rights movement, same thing they did with LGBTQ movements. They're trying to say, hey, you're being oppressed. We got the solution. The problem is the solution is much worse. The medicine's worse than the cure is worse than the disease. That's what we got going on. Go ahead, Zach.
Yeah, I was going to say, what struck me again, I didn't hear it the first time I listened to that clip, but then when you played it again, notice he said he doesn't agree with the ethics of the Navy and the Navy SEALs.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't he having issues like dealing drugs and running a cartel himself once he got out? In a way, he's telling the truth. That does not align with the ethics of the Navy SEALs.
Yeah, he's not wrong. Well, let me tell you what the core values of the Navy SEALs are: honor, steadfast character, truth, living by a strict code, courage, mental and physical strength to overcome adversity, control emotions under fire, and stand up for the right path. Commitment, putting the welfare of teammates and the nation ahead of personal safety and ego. Ethical principles and code, uncompromising integrity, extreme accountability, perseverance, team and country first. Yeah, I agree. I don't think he adheres or is compatible with those values and principles. I agree. And it's a shame because he has such a huge platform. He has the ability to do so much good. And what he's doing is just sitting around demoralizing people, sucking everybody else that's watching into his own depression or whatever he's got going on. I don't know if he has PTSD. I don't know if it's after effects of drugs. I don't know if he has psychological issues. I know that he has done a lot of different, not only drugs, but even like Ibogaine and things like that. And those are helpful to some people. But I can tell you, I have a lot of friends that have used those therapies, and some of them are coming out way worse. Just that's the truth. And I'm not saying they shouldn't be explored, because I've seen some people that have benefited from those things, psychedelics. And there's probably a lot of therapeutic value there. But the fact is some people just have a really bad reaction and go the other way. I mean, we're talking about brain chemistry, and we're also talking about some drugs that we, quite frankly, don't have a long history of using and don't know that much about them. So we're going to have to take some good with the bad. But the important thing is realizing how these things have affected you. And I just, it's unfortunate, because I don't think he does.
And isn't that why
Wanna
the CIA
know
recruited
another
him?
convenient Fed? Barron was a paid
Yes.
informant, guys. Just
Say that
He was
again, Lisa, you
literally-
cut out.
I said, speaking of convenient Feds, Barron was a paid informant.
Yeah.
So,
Actually, he wasn't paid. It was voluntary.
oh, sorry, voluntary.
Voluntary.
Informant.
And,
Still,
and
but
folks,
he doesn't qualify as a Fed though, so that's fine.
no, I talked over 3 hours with Matt Hart, the prosecuting attorney that he worked for, and again, 3 hours of telling me that Baron Coleman was some of the top 3 to 5 most dangerous, unpredictable people that he's ever met. And he's talking, and this is a prosecutor. And so you can take that for what it is. And he shows that character every day. He's willing to say and do anything. And then he sits around and he pretends that he's just this nice, friendly guy. I got texts from him that I can tell you would prove something different. And there's
And Zach, you confirmed, but I thought I saw a long time ago Shawn mentioned that he was actually recruited by the CIA after like a bender, like a drug bender, and didn't they find him in like a prison or something? Or after he got out
But-
or something like that?
I don't know the full story there. I believe he was, but I'd have to go pull that up.
allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Yeah,
Well,
allegedly, I mean,
let's make sure we know the facts before we lay them out. And I do have those facts, and we can go through them another time. But I wanted to make you guys aware of what's actually taking place. America's enemies are the hackers. Islam is the virus. America is your PC. Israel is the firewall. That's why the woke right wants you to voluntarily take it down. 100%.
I don't know. I'm getting called a hypocrite because when Project Constitution put information out there, my issue wasn't that he posted my name. Obviously, I'm the one that stepped into this. I'm the one that decided to, go after Candace, debunk her lies, do all of that. My husband and I have had multiple conversations about it. He fully supports me in what I'm doing. He believes in what I'm doing, and I wouldn't be doing it if my husband did not fully support what I was doing. However, I signed up for this and to take the arrows. He did not. So when Project Constitution put my husband's name and his photo on the internet, I was pissed because it was targeted at him, and he has nothing to do with any of this. He is a completely innocent bystander in this entire thing, and that was my frustration. If Project Constitution would have put me on there, I would have been like, well, yeah, like I have brought myself into this. Like, it is what it is. That just comes with the territory, and I fully expect that. Again, notice nobody on our side of the equation has mentioned anything about Leah's husband. We have not put her children's name on the internet. We have not put where her children are going to school, or where she works, or where her husband works, or anything like that, because it is not relevant to the conversation of what was being discussed. What was being discussed was her credentials and whether she was presenting herself authentically on the internet. And so we discussed who she is, her name, because that was publicly available, and her career and her work history. That was all that we talked about. Nobody put her address or any of that type of stuff on the internet, and I would never condone doing something like that.
Agreed.
Because when it happened to my husband, I was not happy about it because it was my husband. But I have a lot of these people saying that I'm a hypocrite because I was upset when it happened to me, and now I'm doxing someone else. And I'm like, except that I wasn't the one that was doxed. It was my husband's information, and he had nothing to do with this, because we don't go after people's family members. Okay, that's not what we're doing.
Just to be
here.
clear though, like Lisa and I and all, like, we didn't even speak before she started getting, like, until Leah essentially deleted her tweets, right? And then she put out new tweets trying to, like, damage control she put out like this resume, and then she, in one of her tweets, she tags Lisa and she blocks me, right? I had never talked to Lisa. I don't know Lisa, never had a conversation with her. I'd seen her on your show, Gary, but that was it. I don't know her. So I hadn't talked to her. This is not Lisa. I'm the one who put out Leah's real name. And Lisa had retweeted me and put out some information that I put out. That was it. So this wasn't something like we had a round table or anything like that. That didn't happen, right? This was something that I took on, and yeah, maybe I did,
Well,
and
and
maybe I didn't. At
that's
the
how
end,
she's
speak as-
presenting it. Did you get the newest video that I sent? I don't know if Jen.
Yeah, I watched it right
Yeah.
before we were starting here,
That's
and
the newest one
she tries to.
just put up, and she's saying that we were all working in cahoots, and that you Turning Point sent us as an organized group after my initial post about her going on Shawn Ryan yesterday. Never mind that's not how any of this happened.
Turning Point can't afford me.
Yeah, Turning Point has
Yeah.
nothing to do with this at all. It just
Sean, you
has
and I are getting paychecks all over the place here.
I mean, there's so many people that owe me money, and I want to point something out, and because we have it technically, like, because Leah did this herself. She had a business. She's the one who named her business after her kids. Now we've had that the whole time. Never
haven't
put it out.
and
Never
I
put
would
it
not
out
I would not do
specifically
that.
because I was I was afraid that somebody would we were afraid that somebody would put those pieces together and go, oh, are these her kids' names? And sure enough, it is. And didn't put it out. Didn't put it out because I did not want somebody stalking her kids or stalking her husband or any of that nature. And this is stuff that's all you can find it on Google. But
Right. So even the information that was put out was very selective, very limited, and only limited to the specific thing that was being discussed, which was her work history and her credentials on how she's presenting herself. We have a bunch of other information that was not put out specifically because I would never do that to someone. Because again, I wouldn't want that done to me, and I'm not going to do something to someone that I wouldn't want done to me. So
Yeah, and to your point, Lisa, just to make sure that everybody's really clear, you had nothing to do with this at all. So it's really funny that they're saying that you're doxing people, because the only two people that were posting, Shawn posted, and then I went back and grabbed the original post from her employer and reposted it.
yeah, and
They're saying that I doxed her by reposting a public post.
Yep, and that's the one that I reposted, was the public employer post that was already on the X platform. By the way, it's on the X platform.
It's on
And I said,
every
so
social media
apparently it's
platform.
against terms of
Yeah.
service to repost an X post now. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
It's technically on. It was on their website too, but they removed it. But it's on the Wayback. It's on archive.org. So you can still find it.
Yeah.
Folks, we mentioned this the other night, but this just goes back to their tactics. These are all the tactics of the left. The other night we were talking. I had Zach on. We were talking about the lists that they're using on X. We're talking about how they sit there and they omit information, they lie, they smear people. Like, it is the left's playbook. Pay attention to what they're doing. And I'll be honest with you. I've been talking about conservative politics in this channel for 6 or 7 years. And I've been harassed by Antifa types, the left, called racist. I've never seen the coordinated, systematic effort to try to destroy me, to try to discredit me the way that I've seen by these vicious, ungodly people from the Candace cult. Like, these people, there is no low. Because here's the problem, folks. They've convinced themselves that people like me and Lisa and everybody here is an existential threat, and we're corroborating and working with Israel or all these other things. So we're on the table. Like, they don't even realize that they're being duped by the lowest IQ propaganda possible. And yet they sit there with this superior complex that they think they're smarter than everybody else, but they can't show you a single drop of evidence for anything that they claim. We got freaking guys like Trillions claiming that, no, Charlie was shot by some mechanical device hidden somewhere else off to Charlie's left. Like, these people, exploding microphones.
Oh, and Leo went with the exploding mic, by the way. So
yeah,
that tells you about her level of intelligence.
Well, and what you see with her pattern is very similar to what Candace does. Is she never actually came out and said that I've seen in videos I was an intelligence analyst. What she says is I advised intelligence agencies so that the people will fill in the gap. And it's like, yeah, if you're not, we know what you're doing. And that's why we're calling you out. You were not an analyst. You weren't in intelligence. You may have been supporting an intelligence agency doing accounting or, possibly even logistics or something along those lines.
Yeah.
But you were not in there figuring out, hey, where's this money going? How's this going? Like, that's not what you were doing.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a post where she says that she had top security clearance.
She may have had secret or SSBI. I doubt she had TSSCI for any length of time, because it's especially when she got into her gambling stuff, which we haven't touched on, but she also went around playing in the World Series of Poker.
Yeah.
That would have been very difficult to keep a TS clearance while you're gambling.
Well, and look, regardless of clearance, look, I've worked at different agencies, and like literally support people will end up with a TSSCI just because of the information that they're going to hear, that they're going to be around. So I'm not going to attempt to say that she did or did not have a clearance. I bet she did. It actually, as long as you can pass a background check, there are low-level people that do have top secret SCIs. So anyways, that's that. But the fact is it's very clear to everybody that sees what she's doing and the things that she's saying, that she's not who she says she is. And by the way, again, the real point of all of this, folks, a investigator that is going to go through and dig through the garbage and closets and the bones of other people while they sit there and clutch their pearls when someone's like, you know what, we have a right to know your name. And by the way, you're saying that you have this expertise and experience, and come to find out you don't, or you need to prove that to us. That should be on the table. That should be the lowest bar of credibility. If you're going to claim that, that's what you got to show. And I'm not going to sit here and entertain these morons who are like, oh God, you're doxing people. Like, get out of here, dude. It's so disgusting.
Gary, she just put a tweet out 26 minutes ago, if you want to pull it up,
sure,
accusing us of some stuff.
Let's take a look at it.
It's a whole video. It's a whole video.
Is that newest? Yeah, it's the newest video.
It's too long to watch, I think, probably. But
she opens it up by saying, "I worked very hard to keep my name suppressed on the internet."
I bet she did.
Not real hard. No, she did.
And she did not work very hard to keep her information private, so that's completely full of shit. But then also, she ends the video by saying, "And yes, I do like to play in poker tournaments in my free time." Okay. And she's like, so you guys are going to see video of me, like probably at some poker tournaments. So you worked really hard to keep your real name private on the internet, but yet you go to these poker tournaments. Like, which one is it, lady? She completely contradicts herself in the same video.
Well, we got a 4-minute video. We are coming for you all, and it's going to be an expensive lesson for you to learn. Well, let's read the whole thing. For those who prefer video, I got you. My daughter had emergency surgery this week, and I had to leave half of her reproductive system removed. It's been a rough week. Emotional manipulation. And by the way, Leah, I'm going to pray for you, and I'm going to pray for your daughter. Yeah, and same. My God, I hope, everything turns out the best that it can possibly be. Then she has her picture exposed by trolls to the internet to harass her mom. Again, you put her picture on the internet. I wasn't guilty of that. Whatever else, whoever made those, again, Shawn, talk to Shawn. But again, those were public pictures, Leah. We're coming for you all, and it's going to be an expensive lesson for you to learn. I don't think so. But let's hear what she has to say.
They're claiming it's not doxing, however. Official LeahFiles has officially struck a nerve by going on the Shawn Ryan show, and last night I was doxed on X. They're claiming it's not doxing, however. I've gone through great lengths to keep my name private and don't post it on social media, and they exposed it to harass me along with pictures of my underage children.
Are you? Hold on. Let me try this real quick. Let me change the audio setting.
Yeah, while you change that, I mean, when I read that, I was just like, this is a tactic that's used by the left. Like, this isn't really something that conservatives do.
It's playing a victim.
I mean, it's all of a sudden, it's like, hey.
Yeah, and She started it last night. That's why she cleaned out her ex, because she wanted to flip the narrative and try and play the victim. So like, they came after me. It's like, no, you came after me. You tried to get my account suspended.
It's wild. Let me know if we're still getting echo.
I didn't put on social media, nor did I give them consent to do this. They did it to harass us. Absolutely.
All right, hold on. Let me switch that back. I don't know why. It's the Jews. Freaking Jews.
Mossad.
Gary, I'm going to come up there and fix your audio settings for you. That way you can pay me.
They work great most of the time, just every now and then. When
Make sure you pay him in cash. No paper trail.
No paper trail. I want gold menorahs. You promised gold menorahs.
I only give off pieces of gold menorah from the BB bucks.
So there's a whole group of them, and we are capturing all of their information. But one of them is Lisa Knows. She's on this app. I'm tagging her here, and she deserves everything coming for her because she took my post on TikTok, posted it on X yesterday, and complained that she couldn't believe I was on the Shawn Ryan show, and I had grown so much in 7 months, and she had been on here 5 years. And then she asked for my credentials and called me a fraud, and then I was doxxed. And they are literally acting like it's a gotcha. So I'm taking my power back and doxing myself.
I'm doxing myself.
Leah is my middle name. My first name is Ren, R-E-N-N. I go by Ren, but Leah sounded better for the LeahFiles, and Ren is a very unique name, and I just didn't want to put it on the internet because I wanted to protect my family, and never in a million years did I think the LeahFiles would get as big as it did. They're claiming I'm a fraud with my work history, which is actually insane because I have a very pedigree work history. And yeah,
I have never once described my work history. I have a pedigree work history. And by the way, I could. Just pretentious.
Economics degree and a minor in finance. Got a job right out of school in Northrop Grumman and supported NGA. And then I went to another consulting firm, Booz Allen. I supported NRO and DIA. Then my DIA client hired me on as a gubby. And then I realized I only got 6 weeks of maternity leave and I was pregnant. And I just didn't like doing the same thing day in and day out. It's just not me. Then PricewaterhouseCoopers recruited me. I got 4 months of maternity leave.
Hold on, pause it right there real quick.
When I went to work.
All right. So, Gary, how many GS employees do you know that would quit and give up that guaranteed cost of living adjustment and pension because they didn't like doing the same thing every day?
I mean, I'm sure there are some. But I only get 6 weeks of maternity leave.
Because I mean, when you get that, that's usually when you're a contractor, especially if you're like working for the comptroller, going GS is usually like the gold standard, because once you get past your probation period, you're impossible to fire.
Yeah.
Like not kidding. I would go into the office at times, and then we had a couple of GSs that were working for us. They would show up at 8 o'clock and they played freestyle all day. This is back when you actually had freestyle on the Windows computers. The younger kids probably didn't even know what that is. But that's what they would do. And from 8 a.m. until 5 p.m., they would play freestyle, and then they would go home. That's all they did all day long. It's boring, but they're getting paid 6 figures to do it. So like
that on top of the real money, not only the 401k, the benefits package, and the healthcare package and all the stuff that you get, it's
very difficult to give up.
It's very abnormal, to say the least. I have seen some people that are just like, I'm done with this. I'm going to go do something else. Okay, fine. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt.
For them, went and did really cool project.
But notice, again, it's the language that she's using right here that I find most abnormal and suspicious. And that is, I worked for this company. You can work for, like somebody mentioned earlier, they're freaking janitors that work for the CIA. Are you actually doing any sort of intelligence analyst work? Like, are you doing something like forensic accounting and things like that? So that's the real question. And I think at this point she would have said that specifically.
So that, and if she was, she couldn't actually talk about most of it, because when you join these companies, you not only sign an NDA with the company, you sign an NDA with the government.
Yes.
And the NDA with the government does not expire.
Right. And it, to me, like, so, like I said, when I watch this video, right, she's got the sport coat on, right? Like typically you see in like TV movies, CIA analyst, Carrie Mathison, Homeland style. And then it just feels like she took a page right out of Snowden's book, who was a contractor with actual security clearance for the NSA and CIA, but didn't work directly for them necessarily. So that's what like kept popping in my mind when I first saw her videos. I was like, did you steal all of this from Homeland and Snowden?
Well, at the end of the day, the evidence says that so far we've seen nothing that indicates that she had any sort of intelligence tie to any of these agencies whatsoever. And matter of fact, it actually says the opposite. Again, Leah, feel free. I will keep everything confidential. You can send it to me. I will vet it. I'll be professional about it. And I'll be happy to issue a retraction if I'm wrong. Be happy to.
Which is why I say I worked at NSA and CIA and advised other intelligence agencies.
What does that mean? What does that mean? You could have been a freaking, you could have advised them on the landscaping. I advised these agencies.
Because who knows what NGA and NRO are. Then took a sabbatical, bought a sailboat, sold everything we owned, bought a sailboat, sailed the Caribbean, homeschooled my kids, came back and started my own just independent consulting firm where I went back to the CIA and did work for clients there, my old client. Then I supported Marine.
Sounds like a Fed. She's
Zach,
a spook, folks.
She doesn't seem to realize that we can look up her company and see whether or not she had government contracts.
Yeah.
Yep, and I have not found one so far.
She had no government contracts.
Project at IARPA, which is the intel arm of DARPA, and I've done one at the Senate. So yeah, I mean, I've been to a lot of consulting firms. When you have that clearance, they recruit you. And I was very, very good at what I did.
What did you do? What did you do?
So she did say one thing that was true there. When you have your inactive clearance, they will recruit you. However, when you take a 2-year sabbatical, your clearance is no longer active.
Exactly.
So she would have had to get re-cleared.
Yes. 100%.
And to Allen, to the government, to Pricewaterhouse, to KPMG, it's not a gotcha. And I supported NGA, NRO, DIA, CIA, NSA, IARPA, the Senate.
Can you imagine if this girl ever said anything like, I don't know, like based on the evidence, Tyler Robinson seems like he's the murderer. Like she would get destroyed because of all these affiliations, 100% destroyed. But yet you're a Fed if you go against their narrative, which now is like the orthodox. Like you have to conform to theirs. You have to conform to theirs or you're going to get smeared. If you're on their side, you can have all of these affiliations and it's okay. As a matter of fact, you're an asset. That doesn't make any sense. We don't trust the government, right?
According to her, I've got to update my resume because I need to explain that I've advised all these agencies.
100%.
Gary,
Yes.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Why is it that they will accept the word of some intelligence professionals or intelligence people, but they're not accepting other people's?
Confirmation bias.
It's confirmation bias and motivated reasoning. I mean, that's why.
Yeah.
100%.
Or Navy. I don't think I forgot one. And all of this is going to come out in my Shawn Ryan interview because it gave me such a great perspective of the playbook that we use. And the work I did was really interesting. And I'll get into it. I keep saying I'm some accountant. I'm not an accountant. I've never done accounting. Like, yeah, I can look at numbers and I know accounting. I had to take those classes, but I'm not an accountant. I don't want to be. It's not for me. I have a fraud examiner certification. I'm good at what I do. And you guys just trying to expose me and saying I'm a fraud proves that. Like the defamation is wild that's happening.
The fraud examiner thing is interesting too.
I think Tyler Boyer and Andrew Colbett, because they follow all of these bots and people doing this, are the ones who found out I was going on Shawn Ryan and had them come after me for my credibility. Anyway, I know I've been really quiet this week, and I owe you guys so many videos. I am sorry. My daughter had emergency surgery on Tuesday, and it was
Here we go.
rough.
More
She had her
emotional
reproductive system
manipulation.
removed. She had her second ovarian torsion. It was awful, and I've been taking care of her this week, and then the doxing happens last night. So it's been a week. I've heard Mercury was in retrograde, but I would like it to leave. Oh, and the other thing, I play poker, so you'll see that if you look me up, and they're trying to expose that like it's something. I love the game. I've studied game theory, wargaming, it all works together, reading people, which I can read people like a book, the math, all of it. It's such a good game for the brain. I go out to the World Series every year just to play. I just love the game. Not sure what they're trying to expose there. Anyway, that was that. Now you guys know, and we've taken our power back. I have so much coming for you. Stay tuned.
All right, so a couple things here, and I'm gonna send it to Zach real quick. So like we did try to look up to see if she was CFE or ACFE certified. She's not in the database when she talks about like being licensed investigator and all that. When it comes to the poker thing, that was specific to my actual investigation because I had her name. I was 100% sure that was her, but I needed to specifically match her voice and match her tattoos to make sure that I had the right person. I didn't want to put that information out there and it not be her, and then some random lady gets, bombarded or something. I don't know, who's not even her, right? So obviously, when I found the poker video, it's like, if you find out I play poker, they already know you play poker because we've already put the information out there. So I found the video. It's her name. Put it out there. That's that. And again, we can't find anything in regards to her license. Now you can, I believe, Zach, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think you can remove yourself from that database, but so far we haven't found any information on that. So
yeah, so you're correct. We looked in the database. She's not listed. That doesn't necessarily mean that she doesn't have the certification because you can hide it. However, if she's trying to run her own company, it's very odd that she would hide her credentials that would allow people to, find her. Like, so I have my doubts as to whether or not she actually has that.
And it's not a license. It's a cert.
It's a certificate. Yeah. It's like
certificate.
It's similar to like a PMP or a CISSP, those kind of certifications that you would typically get. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, I want to play this video right here where she psychologically examines Erica Kirk.
The long-awaited assessment of Erica Kirk from an intelligence perspective. Let's go. I spent my career at the CIA and NSA and also advised other intelligence agencies. I now have my own corporate intelligence firm. All of these opinions are my own. This analysis is my own for entertainment purposes only. There are two types of liars in intel. You have your normal liars, your Joe Schmoes. They're going to lie to benefit themselves, cover up. Those lies are going to look random. They're going to be whenever there's an opportunity and they need to lie. Then you have assets, and assets have lives built for them, and they're lying. It's going to come across as more of a pattern. I want to keep this in mind as we go through the behavior of Erica Kirk and some of the red flags I've seen and align it to a behavior pattern of an asset or an intel op. 3 instances have stuck out to me to make me truly question what was going on. In 2013, when Erica Kirk was 24 years old, she was in a documentary with the director of the CIA talking about electromagnetic pulses, EMPs, which her mom, who owns a defense contracting firm, that's what they do. And she was talking about taking down the American power grid. That's not fucking normal, all right? Not only is...
What? Folks, how long have we been talking about EMPs? Like forever. And by the way, it's still a major vulnerability in the U.S. for every piece of infrastructure that we have, including military infrastructures. Most of the critical military infrastructures, or a lot of them, are still not protected from EMPs. And by the way, Erica Kirk's mom had a company that provided devices and systems that protected from EMPs. This, by the way, they're up there briefing different government personnel about this. We happen to have a former CIA director in this, and this is where everybody was spreading around that she was a CIA asset and that this was a CIA video. It was not. It was not. It's so dumb. it's not normal. Yes, it is normal. This is the stuff that I'm like, they generate and they fabricate suspicion where none should be. We've been talking about this. I guess, like, I remember Rush Limbaugh talking about this stuff freaking 15, 20 years ago. Go ahead, Zach.
Alex Jones did too.
Alex Jones.
Say, well, that and Elon, I think, did as well. He's been doing it for about 20 years, talking about how we need to. But notice her level of analysis. She was talking about this. It's not effing normal. All right. If I walked into the CIA director or a 3 or 4 star general and just told him, "Hey, yeah, we're going to do this," it's not normal. And that was all I told him. Like, what do you think would happen? That's not how you present.
Zach, as a social engineer, I think she needs to work on her social engineering and pattern recognition.
Yeah.
As far as
just a little bit.
I had a clip yesterday of hers that I found where she was looking at this guy that was on the board for Turning Point, because it was when she was doing her whole financial, like, they're fraudulently using their money and their funds and their donors and whatever nonsense. Anyway, she literally goes, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure this guy was on the board and he did some weird stuff, but, like, I can't verify any of this." She starts the video saying in the beginning that she can't verify anything that she's saying. And
it's all imaginations and fantasies. Like I don't like you, so I'm just going to imagine. I don't know these things. Like, there's gaps of information, whether it's timelines, whether it's just like, I don't know who you are. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I'm just going to make these things up, throw a question mark on the end of it, and pretend it's not defamation and I'm not doing what I'm doing. And that is a psychological manipulation. Like, that's what she's good at. And folks, that's what these, look, you would be
just like Candace.
I would be remiss not to give credit to Candace Owens, Baron Coleman, and some of these other grifters that are very good at what they do. They are likable. They're entertaining. They speak well. They present well. They worry about the optics of what they're doing, just like everything that we're talking about. Like, putting things in the background. I was looking at some of her videos earlier where it's like data analysis in the background just happened to be there. Like, get out of here.
Can you imagine, like, if you and I, Gary, okay, if we were making a video, you and I, because we make video content all the time, if we started our video by saying, "I can't verify any of this," could you imagine the amount of shit that we would get? I can't even, but that's the standard, right? So, like, if I started my video saying, "Hey guys, I can't verify anything I'm about to tell you right now, so just, like, maybe believe it or don't, I don't know, whatever," I would be absolutely annihilated. I would be hammered into the ground. I mean, the standard that they let them just do, like, they can get away with proverbial murder, so to speak. Meanwhile, you and I are held to a completely different standard, and it's such BS.
Well, hasn't Cheeto Fingers done that a few times? Where he starts off a post, or he's like, "Hey, I can't verify any of this, but Andrew's getting a divorce." Like, it's like, no.
It's a documentary with the director of the CIA talking about electromagnetic pulses, EMPs, which her mom, who owns a defense contracting firm, that's what they do. And she was talking about taking down the American power grid. That's not fucking normal, all right? Not only is it not normal for a 24-year-old who didn't study this stuff to be the face of talking about EMPs, but it is also not normal to have that kind of access to the director of the CIA. Like, you have to be incredibly well connected and know your shit. And yet, she never talks about it. Second really odd piece of behavior is the fact...
wait a second. Like, don't you have to have some level of expertise to know what is normal in the industry? Like, you clearly don't know anything about EMPs. Like, who are you to say what Erica Kirk doesn't know about EMPs? Like, she may be very well versed on that topic, and I bet she is, actually, given that her mom built entire systems specifically to defend against EMPs. Like, get out of here.
In May of 2018, she tells a story about going on a pilgrimage to the blue and white country with her mother, and happened to be the same.
Notice that she just calls it the blue and white country, because she's another one that's jumped in on the Israel hating grift.
And they want to sit there and pretend if I say Israel, I'll be freaking debanked, demonetized, persecuted. But I can say blue and white country. Like, the algorithm that Israel puts out, like, they can't identify that. Like, like little hats. I can say little hats. You don't think they've heard that before? You don't think they had some Jew algorithm that they wouldn't figure that out? Like, hey, you know what? We need to add Jew hats to the list of the blue and white country or whatever it is. Like these people, they're acting out a role. Like they're not even real. This is so silly.
Some embassy was opening, and so Charlie Kirk was going as well, and she saw him in the airport and recognized him. He wasn't well known at this time. Knowing about Charlie Kirk's faith and divine intervention and all of those things, I'm going to call bullshit on this. And what it looks like is that this was a planned encounter.
And by the way, Lisa, you may know this. I'm pretty sure this whole thing was debunked. They did not meet this way. They met exactly how Charlie Kirk described, and that was in a business interview, a job interview.
Yeah, it wasn't until years later when they actually got together that they realized that they were on this same trip together, but they had gone with two completely different groups, because there's a ton of tour groups that go over to Israel, by the way.
Gotcha.
Because Christians will take pilgrimages over there with different churches and different groups and whatever. So they happened to be there at the same time, but they were with different groups, tour groups. And so it was years later after they got together that they put two and two together, that their timelines, that they were actually there at the same time, but they had no idea that they were there at the same time.
And they didn't recognize each other or bump into each other.
Sure. And what happens is you bump into your target, or you create a relationship without creating a relationship, so that when you do meet, it is not so random. That's what this looks like. Another thing that struck me as very strange about her is that she has no real friends. She has no real connections. And everything is a lie. This pattern of behavior is...
Tracy Martin? Hello? What the hell?
Well, not just that.
Is a lie.
Candace, how old is her oldest friend? They're just throwing it out there.
I don't know. I think that one's been on lease for like 6 months or something.
Yeah, Erica Kirk has no real friends. You just have Tracy Martin, who has literally known her for 16 years and is basically like a second mom to her, basically, and mentor to her. But that's apparently not a real friend. Like, what?
Just screaming asset. The third huge red flag for me, and this was probably the one that got me started thinking all of this, is that she was living in New York City at 29 years old. And she flew out to TPUSA to interview in Arizona for a nonprofit. She's like, I'm going to go interview at a nonprofit. I have 2 degrees, according to her. I think people are proving that not to be true. Surprise, surprise. JD, I'm going to go interview at a nonprofit. And then she flies back to New York City and gets a real estate license. The thing is, what she does and what she says don't add up, which means she's living a lie. That's what that pattern.
It doesn't add up to you. You don't know the details of it. Like, how can you examine
that timeline
someone?
is complete? That timeline is way off.
It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter.
Then she's like regurgitating Barron's lies regarding to her educational background. So she's just
100%
sliding into Barron's DMs, basically.
Yeah, and that's the problem, is that these people pick up on all these things, they freaking turn them into a quilt, and they start pushing them out. And that's the other thing too. It's like they talk about us coordinating when they're the ones coordinating an attacks that like bring us together with this, because they're all coordinated. It's wild. Again, when out of the blue, never even mentioned freaking Elizabeth Lane. She comes to my comments, starts denigrating my military service, calling me a pussy, calling me all kinds of names. Like the worst. I've never been called these names by dudes, and she's spreading them all over. And then I go after her, and then suddenly Baron Coleman is attacking me, attacking Jen. It's nuts. Texting me, saying that he's going to sue me. That, like, get out of here.
Behavior tells me
It's all
she's living a
coordinated.
lie. In addition, it's already come out that Tyler Boyer said she called him for the interview, and she was dating Cabot Phillips. So she has integrated herself for the 2 connections related to Charlie Kirk. So it's not by chance. I think that those 2 people told her a lot about Charlie Kirk, and she learned about the target. Let's just say that happened. So her target's Charlie. She learns everything.
Folks, you see what she did there? I think this, and then it goes into a confirmation. Her target's Charlie. And this is something that Candace does all the time, where she brings up something as speculation, and then 5 minutes later she refers back. She clearly says it's speculation. I'm just thinking out loud. But then 5-10 minutes later in the same show, she'll refer back to that as a certified fact. Like, oh, we already proved this. No. You literally said that was speculation, but you reference back to it as it is a fact, and this is what they do, folks. The tactics they use, they're simple, but they're effective, especially if you're weak-minded and you can't pick up on this. And by the way, it is very easy once you have confirmation bias or you have motivated reasoning.
Speaking of reading people, Gary, I don't know if you can see. I don't know if you're watching the actual video, Zach. You're just hearing it, but whenever she goes to do like those little lies that you guys are pausing on the video, she's blinking her right eye, and then she'll slide her eyes up like she's searching for information either up or down, and it's almost as if like when she was in the CIA, they didn't teach her spycraft at all. They didn't teach her tells. I mean, I would wear sunglasses if I were her if I'm going to play poker. That's all I'm saying.
It needs to be to attract that.
Maybe that's where she wears a cap to cover her eyes.
It is not hard to do, all right? And she plays that role. But she's not the mastermind. If you look at the epicenter of what I've looked at between Superfeed Technologies, the Blue and White Country Connection, Tyler Boyer, Erica Kirk, you know who sits in the middle of all that? Her mom. So just my opinion again, and stay tuned.
You see how she took a bunch of completely made up, retarded points, strings them all together in the end, and presents it like, there you go. There you go. Now I have educated, I've given you some secret knowledge that you didn't see before. And the lemmings will just clap like circus seals and follow and share and comment and be like, she brings receipts. She not a single receipt there. A bunch of nonsense. Like this is
like that meme where they have the map on the wall and it's got a whole bunch of yarn connecting dots. And she's like, there you go.
And it's just it's like teenage girls, pre-teenage girls, just sitting around living in a fantasy land, making things up and playing pretend, and then they present it as facts. It's nuts to watch. What I'm going to do,
like that's what all of her video content is like. I mean, it's all basically a pattern or a version of that. And so we are supposed to see that and believe that is CIA level of intelligence, guys. Like that's apparently how an analyst would present themselves on the internet.
And by the way, that's on par with what Candace Owens does. Mm-hmm. What Baron Coleman does the same thing. He's just much more sophisticated about it. But all you got to do is watch for the same things. He just makes things up whole cloth, presents them as facts, and he rolls in on the super chats, tens of thousands of dollars. Steven Eiser show, ChatGPT found no public source confirming she was employed directly or indirectly with the CIA. ChatGPT didn't find her in publicly accessible CIA or official speaker biographies or government press releases. Yeah, and it won't. They're watching this video on Gary's Live now, still trying to debunk you. They just don't know when to stop. So she corrected her record after stating she is licensed, stated that she was certified, but she didn't apologize to her followers for lying. And now EMP is, according to Jim, the producer, our proof, Erica K, is some kind of intel. I think you're getting it wrong. According to LeahFiles, some kind of intel asset, like, let me guess, Mossad? Exactly. It's always Mossad. Why would it not be Mossad? Mossad is in everything. Mossad is in everything. I want to take some questions. I'll open the line up to a few folks on Spaces. We'll go just for a few more minutes. I want you guys, listen to me. You're getting cut off at 1 minute. 1 minute. So co-hosts, if you will, start designating some speakers. And if somebody wants to speak, put your hand up and we will get you guys in on the conversation. And we will try to get as many live comments as well over here on YouTube and all the others.
My mic working, just making sure to switch earbuds.
Yeah, no worries. Whole Truth, Gil says they ever actually get to any bombshell about Blake Neff yesterday during the X Space entitled "Bombshell about Blake Neff"? I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, I have an answer for that.
Yes. What is the bombshell?
Apparently, I am Blake Neff and Shawn Campbell, which is really funny since Shawn and I are both in the stream today. But apparently, I am both of them.
I am also mid-gray. I don't know if you guys knew that. I am actually mid-gray. That's always fun. Co-host, start designating some speakers. I don't care who it is. I'm not paying attention to, so you guys are in charge.
Gary, can you co-host again, please? I got kicked off.
It's going to cost you.
Zach, next time we do this, you got to come in as me and I come in as you.
That works. I really wanted to have Blake show up because it would really throw them for a loop if all three of us were in the same stream.
Nope. Sorry, Regina. I actually designated you as a co-host, and I didn't mean to. I don't even know why it would work. But Regina, go ahead.
Oh, hello, Gary Melton. Before you rip up, it's not Regina. I hijacked Regina account, but I not cuss today. But you can take prostitute out of Russia, but you never take Russia out of prostitute. I'm glad we make up, Gary. No, y'all, in all seriousness, Gary, thank you for what you're doing. I mean, this is amazing, and all the work that all the incredible people are doing, and I thought that was crap, man. Lisa gets drug into stuff that wasn't even her to begin with, but man, she's a trooper. So y'all keep up the good work. I will repost all your stuff. I love reposting and commenting and all that stuff. So thank you for doing this. I'm done. That's my spiel.
Thank you, Regina. Yeah, and if you haven't done so already, folks, make sure you like, subscribe, and share this space. Share our content. We really appreciate it. Kim, go ahead. Give me 1 minute of wisdom.
Thanks, Gary. So I don't know if you saw how many times I tagged you today, but they were going after your military service. So I really went back after a couple of them. So you can check that out. But what I really want to say is I listened to Blake Bednar's space for a few hours today, and they were talking for at least an hour and a half about Tyler Robinson's parents not speaking up. And then they also were saying the defense did not get the ME report. And so I Googled it and I posted a picture of both in their comments. And then I finally requested to speak because they just kept going on. And they let me up, and then they immediately blocked me from the space, which shows you they didn't want to stop talking about that crap. And Blake didn't want to stop talking about it because he's sitting there probably making some money, and they didn't want the truth told.
No, I mean, that's the point. I don't know whether or not he's making money, couldn't care less, but that's the point. And that's what they do in those spaces all the time is like Uncle Tom and somebody, they literally say, you guys are trying to shut Candace Owens down. And then I've gone to his space. He's like, no, we're not letting Paramount talk. He's a Fed. We're not going to talk. And he literally was almost in tears, it sounded like, breathlessly saying, why are you attacking Candace Owens? Just let her do her thing. Like, no, I'm going to continue to fight these lies. All you got to do is not lie. Don't lie. Don't accuse people of murder or other horrendous activities like child sex trafficking without evidence, and I'll leave you alone. It's as simple as that. But if you're going to do those things, if you're going to lie and you're going to defraud people constantly, and by the way, convince them of something that is destructive to this nation, I am going to come after you. And by come after you, I mean I'm going to expose your lies, just so we're clear. And you guys aren't like, oh, he's threatening violence. Like, get out of here.
Well, and they kept saying you were Fed too, and giving all the proof of that too, which I tagged you about that too. But the thing is, when you can just simply do a Google search and see that the defense got the ME report and that Tyler Robinson's parents are under a gag order, why are you sitting there and talking about it for hours on end and spewing garbage to other people?
Yeah, I mean, because their whole worldview are built on lies, and they it is a defense mechanism. It's denial. It's just pure lunacy that they hold on to that. But no, thank you, Kimberly. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Blake Bednarz needs to worry about his trespassing charge and the FAA investigation that's going on right now. That's what he needs to worry about.
Sure, Bella, go ahead.
Hey, Gary.
I have a couple of questions, so I don't know if it's appropriate. I have a question about when you were discussing about with John yesterday in that space about the potential of like a second shooter. And then I had sent you a message because there's
John,
also
just I don't mean to cut you off, but just to clarify, John wasn't talking about a second shooter. John was saying that he used a different gun. Just to clarify what he was saying. Unless I'm thinking of a different
thanks.
John, but I'm pretty sure John, the one we're talking about, he was saying that he used an AR, probably in 300 black, and there was a foldable AR, and that he stowed the 30-06 in the woods because he thought he would get away with it, but those pesky kids.
Okay, got it. Thanks for the clarification. There was another guy that's been posting. His account name is like Red's Random, like DUMB. So I looked at his YouTube, and he is also saying that how everybody's kind of missed it, that actually the gunshot wound was an exit rather than an entry point. Like the entry came from the neck. I kind of sent it to you in your DM. I know you get tons of DM, but
Yeah, so
I just
like,
wanted to kind of like ask.
Yeah, so like all this is being recycled from September, October. Like these are all the things, the fights that I have videos on that we've proved, and now some of these people are just coming on to this and like convincing themselves of things have been proven wrong time and time again. That's not an exit wound. It doesn't have the characteristics of an exit wound. There's 1,000 reasons why it doesn't have an exit wound, but you know, this is what was being said in, you know, by late September, early October. A lot of people were trying to say that the shot came from the rear and that was an exit wound, and it's not. It's like they were also saying it was an exploding mic at the time too, but people were like, "You're retarded," and those same people are now like, "Oh, that's brilliant, because they got nothing left."
So
Thanks for clearing that up. Yeah, the mic thing is ridiculous, but I just. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No.
I
don't know who it was.
It's me, Gary. So I had a question relating to that. If that was on their theory, if that's an exit wound, where do they think the entry wound was?
What was being
the back of the neck?
Yeah, like right in the hairline. There's no entrance wound. It's just lowbrow silliness, but again, people are just desperate. Like these are the people that have had like 5 different theories. They've all been debunked, even by the people that were on their side, and now they're just like scrambling, just pure desperation. But
I just wanted to make sure, check with you.
Yep.
And then also, I don't know, her name was Leslie LT or something. She was trying to say that I've been in healthcare my whole adult life, and she was trying to say that, oh no, I'm a CPR expert. The last thing you want to do when you have a bleeding out is CPR.
Yes,
that is not emergency.
And I've had a whole discussion with her. She's wrong. She claims that she's a nurse. The things that she said to me and the things that she's said
not.
The multiple times on spaces, I think she's absolutely lying. But by the way, again, everything that she believes is completely against NAMT policy, pre-hospital trauma life support. Like it's just silly. So yeah, those people exist. Thank you, Bella. We appreciate you. Nish Perez.
Hey. Okay, so I know you read my comment, but I wanted to. I don't know if you wanted to play that video where Leah claims to be like. Well, when she claims to be licensed with Stu Peters' interview, you could tell she's lying because he kind of pushes on her and is like, "So you're licensed?" And she goes, "Yeah, I am." You know, and so then she actually responded to me calling her out on that, like, "Oh, what licensing agency is it? State? Is it federal? Like, where can we find your license?" And she calls me desperate and says, I am licensed. But then that video you just played of her that she just posted, she said, "I'm certified." So it's where she's doubling down and she's lying. And I just want to bring attention to that and make it the big deal that it is, because those credentials that she's been touting is what makes people not want to double check her or make sure that she's telling the truth.
Yeah.
And it was a straight up lie. And she didn't come and apologize to her followers. So I have been lying this entire time. But she's claiming that she was licensed, and now because we are all calling her out, that she's forced to stay certified.
Yeah, again, they use slippery language. And look, folks, if y'all think I'm checking messages while doing a live stream and a space, y'all are giving me way too much credit for my multitasking capabilities. I'm typically not doing that. But let's play this and see what she has to
Stacey
say.
Sheridan starting LLCs, closing them a year later, opening another one while she was on the books with TPUSA. That's definitely a red flag for somebody who's a fraud examiner like myself. And you have, Tyler Boyer.
So wait a minute, just to be clear here, that's your profession?
Yeah, I'm a follow the money person, economist by trade, and I have a fraud examiner license. I have a corporate intel firm now.
Do you have a license as a...
So here we go. He asked her, that's what you do by trade? Oh, I'm a follow the money type of person. I have a license for
a fraud examiner. Okay, so you were effectively looking at this entire Charlie Kirk Turning Point USA post-death situation, and you were conducting what weird...
And again, I had Barnes on here and multiple other people that are familiar with what's going on with TPUSA. Folks, you can get some information from 990s and things like that. To know if there's any sort of fraud taking place, you have to have access to their books. There's so many different ways that legally that you can move money around, and there's nothing nefarious about it. With nonprofits, but these people like to spin this around. And I played that video of Baron Coleman the other day, and what he's saying, he's calling Erica Kirk a welfare queen. And he talks about Andrew Colvett. He's a welfare queen. These people are, making all kinds of money, not paying taxes. That's your money. Those are your taxes. So Charlie Kirk was a welfare queen. Folks, this is what this is. This is an attack on Charlie Kirk. This is an attack on the organization that was responsible for getting Donald Trump elected, and the same people that were attacking Donald Trump when he was in office before he won the election against Biden. These are the same people. They're just out of office, and they're using these morons, and they're pushing these narratives to end MAGA. And just so happens there's a lot of people on the right that were never Trump that want to do the exact same thing and take the country in a direction that will ensure our demise. That's what they're doing. Nish, was that all you had? That was a great video. I'm glad you sent that.
Yeah, Nish, this is Shawn Campbell. If you could send that to me, that'd be great. I'd appreciate it.
Yep. All right, folks. We got any other? Let's see. Oh, I did read the comment, Gary. Jen says I did read the comment. Jen, don't ever contradict me on a show.
I'm sorry.
God.
I tried to text you, but you're not checking your text. Also, I did pull up a video of Andrew Bustamante. It's 2 minutes long.
Okay.
Actually worthwhile because he really did work for the CIA. And allegedly. And he is rebutting Candace Owens' claim that Erica Kirk is a psychopath.
We will play that. No, thank you for that. Grace Papaccio says, Erica, please come out with anything you have on how Charlie needed to protect TPUSA from Candace. We know you have the documentation of this. We need you to fight with us now for TPUSA. I agree. And look, I think Andrew Colvett, Blake, and other folks with TPUSA are finally coming out swinging. I think it's a little late in the game. I wish they'd have done it sooner. I think most of you feel that way too, but I'm glad to see that they are. And you guys start fighting. Andrew, Blake, Erica, fight. We want to see you win. We're 100% behind you. Like, sue these people into oblivion.
Right.
Hold them accountable for what they're doing.
Everything.
Hold on. My buttons aren't working correctly. Let me remove that. Let me add that.
Seen and spoken about today. All right. So everything that you have seen and spoken about today, on a scale of 1 to 10, how accurate do you think Candace Owens is on her assessment of Erica Kirk being a psychopath?
1. And I'm giving her 1 because I would never have the hubris to think that I am perfectly correct. There's room for me to be wrong on this, but with what we've reviewed today and with what Candace has said and with the evidence that she pointed to, she is fundamentally flawed. I would say to anybody subscribed to Candace Owens, you owe it to yourself to immediately unsubscribe from Candace Owens.
Oh, wow, you hate her that much?
You don't need to watch any video. You don't need to comment on it. You don't need to like it. You should do everything you can to save your engagement, to keep that kind of opinion from propagating. Everybody's entitled to an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
But everything I've seen is that that was a malicious, intentionally malicious opinion intended to do harm by twisting factual clips, videos, and statements from other people. That is what is the worst part of our society. That's not saying Candace Owens is the worst part of our society, but it is saying that Candace has to decide for herself if she is going to amplify malicious and misinformation, or if she is going to dig deeper to find meaningful information. I am nobody compared to you, Candace, but that is bullshit. And you go to sleep at night knowing that you put this stuff out, knowing that there's a better way. And she owes it to all of us to have more journalistic integrity when she puts out an opinion like that. That is a moral responsibility for anybody who has even one person listening to them. That, based on the evidence that we reviewed today, that was poison from Candace Owens.
There you go, folks. Also, I'm going to go ahead and put down in the comments as well. Check this out. This is my post of the Julian Dory show, and this is just the ballistics portion of this with Joseph Scott Morgan. Share that. Look, I get it. I understand. Like that is a credible and understandable. Was I playing that video, or did I have you guys up here the whole time?
No, you played the video.
Okay, all right.
You played the video.
I always I'll get done with the video and be like, I wasn't playing that the whole time. Anyways, and it's this video right here. Like, people need to see this. People need to see what this guy says. I'm gonna go through it or skim through it real quick and play a couple of important clips
this
of this.
person are not included. All right. So they have an exclusive. Okay. It's going down when it delivers that energy. It's going to be
He's
devastating.
talking about the ballistics here. He talks about specifically the bullet that was found.
Now, back to Charlie. When this is just my opinion, and people have made much of this. Okay.
Yes.
Kind of balloons out like this. Charlie's shirt, I'm talking about him like I know him, old buddy, old pal. When you're talking about Charlie Kirk's shirt, all right, and people have made much of this, okay?
Yes.
Kind of balloons out like this. It's called kinetic energy.
So when you see that there's nothing to you that looks abnormal of any type of gunshot from this type of weapon that you've seen in your career.
Like an exploding microphone? No, it's
you're out on the exploding microphone.
Okay.
Here we go.
So, I think I lost points off of my IQ just by saying exploding microphone. Anyway, so
well, let's pretend it's a high IQ point.
Yeah,
and how you would break it down with.
It's really disappointing that Julian Dory is going to have Baron Coleman on his show pretty soon. Let me skim down here, and this is the synopsis of this.
If I throw the rock, let the end the jugular veins,
and maybe another that is over.
To summarize it, so going back to what you saw with Charlie, to summarize it, is therefore, in your forensics opinion, very possible that he was shot with a 30-06 from approximately 140 yards away, and that it did completely create a fatal impact upon hitting his arteries right there, but that it is possible, therefore, that it may not have made an exit wound, and that it is also, therefore, even more possible by that point that like his head would not have been
No, it wouldn't have.
off.
And let me tell you one more thing. With this
that's what you need to know, folks. This is a guy that examines bodies. He talks about his long history of examining bodies with gunshot wounds. Actually, one of my favorite parts of this, he's talking about a surgeon, but it's relevant to what we're talking about here.
Other than this person or persons that, and is there enough meat on the bone here?
In any type of, shooting or death investigating or stuff like that told me that the instant they
want to hear about how many moves.
There we go.
What did you see when you got in?
They fired it, allegedly fired by Tyler.
And also one other thing, I don't care what a surgeon has to say.
You don't?
No, I don't. They have the utility for me as a death investigator. What did you see when you got in? Other than that, I don't want to hear your freaking opinions about anything.
Really?
Yeah, really. I don't want to hear about moose, and I don't want to hear about elk, and I don't want to hear about how many moose or mooses or whatever you want to call it around that you think may have passed through. Okay? That's total garbage. All right? Okay? This is not a miracle. This is physics.
It's physics.
It's physics, and it also goes to the structure of the 30-06 round.
All right, let's go there.
Yeah.
Anyways, folks, I highly recommend that you go watch this entire interview. There's so many elements of this that I think he brings a lot of wisdom, experience, and information. And Julian
Gary,
Dory had him on. Yes, ma'am.
I just need to. So the information. So they're already blasting me right now. I mean, literally live as we speak. They're putting out what my house looks like on the internet. My children on the internet, my husband's information. They have already put out significantly 10 times more than anything that was ever stated about Leah. And this is what I'm saying. This is the game that these people are playing, that you can stick to very precise information about someone because they came out and made claims about themselves that were not true. And so that person was exposed as being a fraudulent because they were acting fraudulently, right? And we stuck to her work history only. And now I have someone that is just straight up like blasting information about me and my family that again goes way above and beyond anything that was ever put on the information out on the internet about Leah. And this is what I'm saying. The double standard here is so ridiculous, and it's making me sick to my stomach. But yeah, like this is what's happening right now in real time. I'm getting updates. It's great. It's wonderful.
Folks, if you haven't figured out that these people are genuinely evil and that this is an evil force that's moving across this country, like if you haven't figured it out, hopefully that does. Because I'm telling you, these people are psychotic. These people believe that people like me, Lisa, are existential threats. And not even the ones pushing it, but they know that that's what their audience is composed of and comprised of. And they know what they're doing. Folks, they are inciting violence at every opportunity. And this is what they do time and time again. This is what got Charlie killed. This is what Candace Owens continues to do: stoke hate, resentment, lies about Erica, about anyone that opposes her. Like, I'm really sorry this happened to you, Lisa. I really am.
And
you're
actually, like I said, it comes with the territory, and like I understand that this is the risk that I take. But this is what I'm saying. If we're comparing the situations here, what was put out about Leah was very specific. It was very precise, and it had to do with exactly what we were talking about. And they have already gone tenfold above and beyond anything that we ever stated about her. And so,
they're doing it. They've been doing it to Zach, and I don't know if you've seen it, Zach. I had retweeted it and then I deleted it because I was going to bed and I didn't know if I didn't know if it made any sense. But you've had people in your comment section who've been threatening you too. I think they end up in that spam section, like the hidden replies and stuff. But Zach's been getting it. I've been getting it.
Folks, go to all our accounts and just start reporting these people, please. If it's threatening, if they're doxing people, go report them. I
already had to file a police report not too long ago because someone put my actual location in real time Now, I didn't confirm to them at the time where I was, but they actually figured out where I was in real time and put it on the internet. So yes, I filed a police report for that. But I mean, like, that's the type of stuff that our side deals with. And like, this is like, yeah, like, again, the things that we deal with and then what, like, the type of stuff that they're dealing with are not even close in the same realm as even the same. Like,
And I want to remind everyone again, like, Lisa did not do anything here. Like, I saw the tweets. I saw the tweets like hours afterwards. I think after you found my tweets, that you had had an exchange with Leah. Okay, you had an exchange with her, and then you came across my tweets. There was like a handful of people who've had exchanges with like Leah in the last 24 hours, right? And then I'm the one who outs her. I did it. I'm the one who did it. Public information, did it as a again, I have a deep investigative journalist background and a innocent background. I'm the one who found her identity. I validated it. I verified it. Leah herself confirmed that that's her. And I put the information out there. And all you did was at some point share that information. You didn't like try to track her down or anything of that nature. Nobody has doxed her children. Nobody has put her address out, which again, like this is information that we've all been very specific.
Yeah,
I've
and
had
then like,
people,
and it's not
I've
hard
had
to
people
find that
reach out to me. I've had people reach out to me and be like, "Hey, what's her address?" I'm like, "I'm not giving you her address. Like,
Yeah.
like I'm not gonna.
Well,
You're crazy."
Well, here's the thing too. Is like, first of all, the vast majority. Number one, we wouldn't do that. We would find that unconscionable to do to begin with. But even if we did, like, nothing would come of it because the people on our side aren't freaking nuts. They're not nuts. They're like, you know what? We should let the investigation play out and make a determination once we see all the evidence. That's our side. That's our side. Your side is the Jews. The Jews did it. Freaking Erica Kirk killed him. Erica Kirk is a child sex trafficker. You people are lunatics, and you don't even realize it. You don't even realize it. Like it's crazy to me. Grace says, Gary, can't you get Erica to come on? I've never spoken to Erica. I don't know how to get a hold of Erica. I don't know. I wouldn't want her to come on to begin with. I mean, if she wanted to come on, she'd be welcome. I wouldn't want to ask her to come on. I would love to talk to her hopefully after the Tyler Robinson. I would extend an invitation. I just don't think that right now is appropriate while all that stuff is going on. And I just want her, and you know what? If I can take some slings and arrows for her, happy to do it, because I don't think she deserves what she's being put through. She didn't deserve to have her husband killed in front of the world, and she doesn't deserve to be dragged through the mud and to be verbally, psychologically abused and threatened the way that she is. And it's because of these evil people on their side, like the LeahFiles, like Baron Coleman, like Candace Owens. What they're doing is evil. Simple as that. Erica Kirk is a psychopath. Candace Owens. Confession through projection is a Nazi propaganda tactic. You're right. We see it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Been a huge fan of Joseph Scott Morgan, Body Bags podcast for years. Really knows the stuff. Covered OJ, Jodi Arias, and every high-profile case for decades. JSM says it. Take it to the bank. He seems very reasoned, knowledgeable to me. No Christian should exude this kind of hate, jealousy, and vitriol. The Holy Spirit convicts you when you choose that path. If you choose to continue on that path, you left the way. Jesus. Candace is filled with demons. Lisa, with all due respect, what they're doing really doesn't come with the territory. This is borderline criminal and needs to stop. Yeah, I think
more than borderline.
Yeah, it is more than borderline. So I think what she's saying is the same thing that I've said in the past. Like, we know what we're getting into. But yeah, it shouldn't. And like, these people still shock me every day. I've never had Antifa do what they do. They're like a more radical version of Antifa. They really are. And they're allegedly conservatives. Like, we disagree on how Charlie Kirk was killed. But what they're really mad about is us proving that these people are grifting, lying, and defrauding the American people. That's what they're really, really upset about. Grace Papaccio says, my daughter was hit by a car and her aorta was torn, so they could not do compressions because of the bleeding. I can't condemn them for not doing CPR. Yeah, and it wouldn't be, if you want to kill someone with a massive bleed, like what we saw, massive hemorrhaging. You want to kill them faster, start doing CPR. That's not the protocol, and that's widely known. Well, listen, you four, real quick, I guess, I don't know, got kind of dark there toward the end, but tell us some, give us some encouraging words as we close this thing out. Shawn, you look like a motivational speaker.
What do I look like, a professor? Well, I think the lesson and the motivation here, you know what, I heard Tyler speak at the end of one of your spaces recently, and he was talking about the need to, fight back. And I've heard you say this before as well, right? Fight back, fight with truth, fight with transparency. And, I'm paraphrasing here, guys, by the way, I know it's not exact words. And hold on to your moral compass, hold on to your moral code, right? There's a reason why I do what I do. Nobody's paying me. Gary's not paying me. Israel's not paying me. Turning Point USA is not paying me. Like, I'm in my 40s, for crying out loud. Why would I work at Turning Point? Like, it's full of young people. Yuck. Mossad's not paying me. The CIA is not paying me. FBI is not paying me. So the internet's going to be surprised to know that I do this in my spare time because it's the morally righteous thing to do. When you sit on the internet, like the LeahFiles, right, and you have hundreds of thousands of people who are taking you at face value, and you're able to just go out there and spew this absolute just evil stuff, towards grieving widow and employees who are still mourning the loss of a friend, of a boss, of somebody who held that company up for many years, built it from the ground up with all these individuals that are around. Then you've got people that are starting to fight back, like Blake and Andrew. It's great to see those guys fight back, but it's tough to see these people on the sidelines, which a lot of people don't know. I'm here in Arizona where the HQ is, which I don't know if that's why people think I work for them or whatever. But I've seen these people over the years. As a journalist, I've seen these people, and they're not necessarily like friends, but I've seen the hard work that they put into this stuff. So the positive, I would say, is that Turning Point's going to keep going on. These LeahFiles, Candace Owens, Ian Carroll, Baron Coleman, Stu Peters. I mean, we could go on and on and on for days with these slopcasters, right? Like, they're, at the end of the day, they're not going to win. And if we call them out with facts, we are the ones who are in the right. They are the ones who are in the wrong. And at the end of this trial, there's going to be one right and there's going to be one wrong. And I'm willing to put my bank account on it isn't going to be them. And if they want to come for me and they want to sue me, like I said earlier in the show, I've taken on bigger fish. Anytime, come serve me if you can find me.
Well said, Zach.
You're gonna have me follow that up. I just say, typically the grifters, they go through patterns, and we're seeing them come into their most desperate action, which typically means that they know they're losing and they're trying to claw on things. So I would say that the key takeaway right now is realize that them fighting back harder means that they know they're losing, and eventually they'll eat their own, they'll turn on each other, and then they will fade back into obscurity and be done. And there'll be another grift somewhere else that we don't have to worry about, because hopefully it'll be out of sight of politics for a while.
Agreed. Lisa?
Sorry, I wasn't in a very good. I'm not fun to be around right now. I'm sorry. Normally I'm in a much better mood for this, but like
I get it.
I'm getting absolutely hammered. I don't even want to open my TikTok right now because it's disgusting. So yeah, I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm usually more fun, but I'm just getting annihilated right now online. So that's fun. But anyway, I didn't actually dox anyone. Moral of the story, I did not actually dox anyone, which is the crazy part of all of this. But anyway, yeah, I don't really have much else to say other than everybody who has given me support and who has been down in my comments. I see you guys, and thank you for always being there. There's certain ones of you, you know who you are, that you guys always show up and you're always there. And yeah, just keep on keeping on. I'm gonna probably log off for tonight and take a break because holy
I don't blame
crap.
Folks, like we need more people fighting. This is what it comes down to. Like they can't target individuals if it's not just individuals. Like your guys' voices in different ways need to be as loud as ours. Like we cannot accept this. We cannot tolerate this type of behavior. We cannot tolerate these types of lies. We cannot tolerate these types of accusations without any evidence. And people shouldn't be making money and profiting off of this, but they are. And on top of that, they're building a literal cult following doing it. And the antidote to this is more people standing up against them and going and challenging them in their comments and, posting their lies and holding them accountable. I don't want the government to come in and stop this unless they're doing something illegal. Absolutely. And I think we're past that point with some of these things. But I don't want the government policing voices, and I don't want social media policing voices, and everybody's sitting around, well, why aren't they doing something about it? Why doesn't YouTube do something about it? Why doesn't TikTok or X or whatever do? You are an American. Do something about it. Your voice, along with everybody else's, it's everybody sitting around waiting in this bystander mode, like waiting for somebody to come to the rescue. That's not what we do as Americans. It's not what we do. Like we've got it. We can't put up with this. We can't put up with this. We need everybody to fight. We need to understand what how evil this is, and that this evil is not going to go away. It's only going to grow if you stay silent. So we need more people fighting this stuff. That's what it comes down to. And by the way, go support people that are fighting. That's another way that you can do that. Go, number one, keep everybody in your prayers, but especially Lisa tonight. Make sure you guys are praying for her. Go give her some encouraging words in her comments. I appreciate everybody that tuned into the space. I appreciate everybody that is watching on X, YouTube, Rumble, all the things. We appreciate the love and support. I did have one more super chat. Gary, you're so strong, never quit. We need your voice of logic and reason. There's a lot of people out there that are strong, and these people are willing to come on here and show their face, be transparent. You can know our names, right? We're not sitting out here freaking using anonymous sources and giving you unverifiable information while pretending that we can just go investigate and rummage through people's laundry and, their freaking underwear drawer and pull out everything that they ever had. Like, it's so disgusting. And the hypocrisy is what disgusts me the most. It really is. Listen, folks, I'm trying to leave you on a positive note here. Who was that talking? Did somebody have something?
Gary, really quick before you guys leave. Tomorrow is the hearing for Candace against the macaroons. She has another defamation case. So I find it interesting that she calls everybody a liar, but she's the only one that's getting sued for defamation.
Yeah, and two of them, Brian Harple and the macaroons. You got to be a real turd to get me to start rooting for the French president. My God, I hate the French.
I know, but they have a really strong case. She's trying to get it dismissed from Delaware because she says that Tennessee, no matter where the jurisdiction is, they have a strong case against her, and they're going after her LLC and her hubby, George.
Yeah, we've talked about it at length on our show. Matter of fact, if you guys haven't watched those, both the Andrea Burkhart and the beer lawyer, we need to get them back on again. And I expect to see some more cases, and I hope they do. But folks, we need you to fight. We need you to fight. We need you to have some courage. They're going to say mean things about you. But if we all are working together, they can't go out and start doxing everybody, right? They just can't. Anyways, we love you guys. We're praying for you. I want you to have a wonderful week. We're going to be back at it tomorrow, I believe at 7 or 8 p.m. We'll post the show soon. But thank you for everything you do. Have a great week. And until next time, stay armed, stay ready. We'll talk to you soon.